All right, they said we're live, baby. We're live. We're live, but we're just getting started, y'all. We're live, but we're just getting started. What's up? What's up? Hold on. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Let me know if you can hear me okay. All right, y'all. We're cooking. We're cooking. Just want to get some just a few things straight as we get ready to get cooking. Let me know if you can hear me out there okay. I just check mic 1 2 check. Shout out to everybody on Facebook. Glad y'all are coming through. Now they're public. We got Tim Byrd in the building tonight. Yes, sir. We got Tim Byrd in the building. All right. But you know how we do. We're gonna kick it off. Excuse me. We're gonna kick it off here. Step into the Light podcast. Amazon stream. We're on Amazon Live, Facebook, YouTube, at Averex Music. Step into the light. Let's go.
Somebody hold it.
What up, DJ B Fresh Radio? New joint, Averex featuring No Malice. Step into the light. Let's go.
Yeah, y'all.
Step into the light. We all gon' die one day. Go to sleep, we gon' fly one day. Step into the light. Pay for your sins one day. You'll have to go repent one day. Step into the light. We all gon'
check
die
it out.
one day. Go to sleep, we gon' fly one day. Step
We in
into the
Virginia
light.
tonight.
Pay
Tim
for your
Byrd in
sins
the
one
building.
day. You'll have to go repent one day. Step into the light.
Bear witness, the truth is the light of men. Even in the darkest pit, you can see the light again. Can't tell me nothing with all the hell that I done been. Even at times, I still feel that it's hell I'm in. Lose or win, either way it's elementary. I'm doing good, having escaped a quarter century. Only by the blood, there's no other way of entry. Last supper, fine arts, I am a Da Vinci. Simply put, I paint pictures. Y'all can't believe they ain't scriptures. Lift us up, oh Lord, like Noah in the ark, I want us all on board. The price been paid that none can afford. He gave us his word just to fall on sword. Swore by his own name, no higher oath. Me, I'm just a no-name, sharing what I know.
Step into the light. We all gon' die one day. Go to sleep, we gon' fly one day. Step into the light. Pay for your sins one day. You'll have to go repent one day. Step into the light. We all gon' die one day. Go to sleep, we gon' fly one day. Step into the light. Pay for your sins one day. You'll have to go repent one day. Step into the light.
At the devil's level, shovel the tragedy, your majesty rapidly, accurately display the masterpiece. The capities martyred before the father's not a tragedy. Will happily oblige, show a unified faculty. Mastering the book and study, learning the laws too. Riding for the cause, engaging my flaws too. Smack me, turn the other cheek, I show you what that cross do. Forgiveness for being forgiven, that's why I lost you. Went from pitching in kitchens to serving God's mission. From fishing for fishes to fishing for God's missing. We all victims of sin and some indulge in linen. Some fast cars and women detached from the feeling. Let it go like you selling it online, cause he ain't leaving. He a perfect 10 like Cal next to Keenan. And I ain't dreaming, I'm believing in the most high. The devil still slithers, so you watch him with
Step
both
into the
eyes.
light. We all gon' die one day. Go to sleep, we gon' fly one day. Step into the light. Pay for your sins one day. You'll have to go repent one day. Step into the light. We all gon' die one day. Go to sleep, we gon' fly one day. Step into the light, pay for your sins one day. You'll have to go repent one day.
Coming in the
Step
building,
into
say
the
what's up, let us
light.
know where you from and where you at.
Yeah, y'all. What's up, man? What's up? Yeah, we are in the building. We got a special guest tonight coming through, Tim Byrd. All right, we got Tim Byrd coming through. I mean, this is about to be an amazing night. I'm excited. I've been waiting on this all week. You know, I've been loving this all week. Tim Byrd says, "Fire, I love this." Thank you, sir. I mean, when you got legends giving you a shout, man, it's very humbling. Thank you. Appreciate that. We're up in the Light Club, y'all. Welcome to the Light Club. We're gonna get into it. I got a list of questions for this brother. I mean, you got to understand when we're bringing on somebody who has worked, just a legend himself. All right, let's just start right there. We got a legend coming on. So let's just start right there. All right. I do want to play a record from him as we bring him on. Okay, so I'm going to drop him in the middle of the record. While the record playing, I'm going to drop him in, and then we're going to intro him and let you know all about this brother. You're going to get some live, and you guys can ask questions. We're going to have a Q&A for you guys. All right, so we're going to do all of that. Okay. All right. Now we got a little basis of what we're going to talk about, but most of this stuff is unscripted. This is unscripted. So you can ask this brother whatever you would like. Okay. Within reason. All right. We might have to put some of y'all out because I know somebody tried to get me twerking up here last week. I don't remember who it was, but somebody tried to get me twerking up here. Now y'all be careful. Okay, y'all be careful. We got a legend coming on here. All right, and since we got a legend coming on, let's just play some of his production. You know, we're gonna play a little bit of something for y'all. And hold on, let me cue this back up. See, I've been listening to this stuff, so I got to get it. I got to get it right because I already had it queued up. So let me come back. Who would have known Tim Byrd featuring L. Harris? Let me know if it sound all right to y'all out there. Who would have?
It started out as a crush when I thought of us, fantasies filled with a lust. But who would have known something special in store to cause my heart for yours? We were special for sure. You laugh, you smile, your hair, your eyes, the swear, your walk, your hip, your thighs. I saw every part of you, a work of art, priceless. I love the flaws in you. You my Mona Lisa, picture perfect. I fell in love in the flash, but we took it slow though. We was moving too fast. And others' eyes, but me, you know the truth. The time that we spent apart is the time that we really grew. My world, my heart, my angel, my rock, my wife, my friend, my light in the dark, the sun, the storms, the weather, whatever. I always knew you would be my forever. We would be together. I knew.
It's in the carousel, y'all. Go ahead and cop that.
You were my baby. We knew. Who would've known it'd be us? Who would've known we would be together? Who would've known it would last forever? Who would've known you would have my baby? Who would've known it'd be us? We started out the fling. Played the game I won, you ended up with a ring. Dad, husband, confidant, became a couple of things. A better man, got me feeling blessed for a change. Mother, daughter, wife, many hats that you wear. Put in so many places, but you always were there. Came with baggage that's lightweight, let me carry that for you. Came with my own dirty laundry, you was packing it for me. We done been through the storms, let it dance in the rain. Stuck by me through the hurt, help me smile through the pain. You an angel on earth, everybody you exceeded. Never knew what I wanted, you everything that I needed.
My mama's on. Shout out to my mama.
For us. You give me everything, love, loyalty,
I love you, mama.
For black queen who won't judge my name, my highest honor to love you. Let me know I'm a king, you're perfect for me.
We would be together. I know. Who would know it would last forever? You would've known you would have my baby. Who would've known it'd be us? Who would've known we would be together? Who would've known it would last forever? You would've known you would have my baby. Who would've known it'd be us?
Who would've known? I love you, Tiffany Harris, the Mrs. Harris, my wife, my friend, my everything, forever plus eternity. Who would've known it'd be us?
Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. The man, the myth, the legend is in the building. Tim Byrd, music songwriter, okay? Music advisor. This brother hails from Newport News, Virginia, one of the baddest producers ever to come from Newport News, Virginia. I'm talking Boys to Men, Aaliyah, Outsiders for Life, AK, Timbaland, Ski Beats, Knots. Come on now. His music has been featured on Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta, BET, MTV, Showtime. Come on, y'all. Give it up for the one, the only Tim Byrd, y'all. What's up, my brother? What's up? How you doing, man?
Doing good, bro. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for coming on, man. Thank you for coming on. That record, my pastor, shout out. Hey, Pastor Foster's on. What's up, Pastor Foster? My pastor sent me a record earlier about somebody making a song for their wife, man. And, that record right there, that brother was said his wife's name. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And you know what's a crazy story about that song? That's my brother-in-law. So he's married to my sister. So he came to me one time and said that, hey, Tim, I want to make a song for your sister, as a Valentine's Day thing. We did this a couple of years ago. And I was like, all right, we do it. Blah, blah, blah. And it was just sitting there. And it was just for them two, my sister and her husband. My sister came like earlier this year, last year, something like that, and said, brother, can you make this a single? I was like, well, I thought this was a private song between you and him. Just that, blah, blah. Make it a single now. And that's how it became a single because, like I said, it was a private intimacy with them. You know what I mean? And that's me singing on the hook, too.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Singer, songwriter, producer. I mean, Boys to Men, Aaliyah.
Yeah, I don't know about the singing part. I don't know about the singing part, but
hey, you was hitting it. You was on point, man. You're on point with that, brother. We're not gonna get into that yet, but I just want to kind of come in with my questions here.
That's what it is. Bring it on.
We want to know about Tim Byrd. I kind of, threw it out there in the intro a little bit, but we want to hear from you. Tim, where are you from exactly?
Well, I claim Newport News, Virginia, my home. I was born in Sacramento, California. And since I'm a military brat, I moved all over. Next place, airports. Next place we lived was Belgium, then DC, then Germany, then North Dakota, back to Northern Virginia, and my father retired here in Newport News.
Okay, so you a Virginia native, but that's a lot of people in Virginia, man. They just been all over the place.
Yeah.
I actually ended up here because my uncle was in the military, and my mom, she came for a visit, and man, the next summer she was gone.
Wow.
She loved the area so much. She was
Wow.
like, I got to go. I'm ready to roll.
Yeah.
So I got we got several chats going on, so we're gonna have to keep up with the chats as well.
That's what it is.
So my mom says hi, everyone.
Hi, Mom.
And Chris Huns is on. What's
What's
going
up,
on,
Chris?
Tim? He says, what's going on, Tim and Ava Rex? What's up?
What up?
And my wife says, hey, Chris, how are you? Hey, Shell, how are you feeling? How's everyone doing? Don't forget to hit that follow and share to all your social medias. Chris says, I'm good. How about you? And my mom says she's feeling better. So we got several chats. I'm sure there's going to be questions coming through. Pastor Foster says hello. And my man, Rob Dixon, came through.
Rob.
What up, Rob?
That's the homie, yes.
Yeah, man. I grew up next to Rob. When we moved out here, that was our first neighbors that we lived next to.
That is crazy. I didn't even know that you lived in Newport News.
Yeah, I moved here. I was about 14, 15 when I moved here. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to high school with Rob. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man. So everybody's in here. Welcome, everybody. We got producer Tim Byrd in the building. We kind of been waiting for this one right here. So we got our questions. And if you guys have questions, feel free to throw them in the chat. We'll get to them. And your upbringing and musical influences, Tim. Tell us a little bit about that. What did you listen to? Because when I go through your catalog, there's just such a wide range of different things you're doing. Your R&B, I mean the cinematic stuff. I mean, it's your catalog is crazy. By the way, your catalog is crazy. But what are your musical influences? And yes, sir.
My end all be all would be the Jackson 5. That's what started this whole thing. Real talk. Jackson 5. I used to, instead of playing with my friends, I would take my father's headphones, and while he wasn't in the room, I would take the record, my Jackson 5 record, and play it on his record player before I got mine, and just listen to the Jackson 5 over and over and over again. I didn't even know I was studying every single instrument that was in the song, let alone Michael Jackson. And this is at 5 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, and it grew from there. Started listening to a bulk of my inspiration for as far as like what influenced me was when I lived in Germany, and they played all kinds of music. Like you had the Kenny Rogers, you had Led Zeppelin, you had the Beatles, you had Lionel Richie. So I started listening to a lot of that growing up, and I was still Michael Jackson all day, no matter what. Michael Jackson all day. I used to do contests and win contests doing the Billie Jean routine from Motown 25.
Okay.
Yep. And it grew on from there. When I started producing, that's when my influences started growing even further. I started getting into movie sounds. I started getting into more, let's say, weird music that nobody would really listen to. You know what I mean? Because I used to show my friends, what I was listening to, and they'd be like, "Man, get that out of here. I ain't trying to hear that, blah, blah, blah." So I would do it in silence and just grow.
Right. That's dope, man. I mean, you hear that from a lot of musicians. They're listening to stuff that, isn't necessarily in their culture. Just because they love the instruments, they love the sounds. They're more apt to looking to the sounds than to just trying to stay in one lane. And this, you can kind of hear it in your music selection because it's just so wide.
Yeah.
It's so versatile. You know what I'm saying? Like it just shows.
Yeah, a lot of influences. It really music spoke to me. It was like it was my best friend. You know what I'm saying? It was really my best friend, especially through relationships, even as a little kid.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how I got into songwriting, I'm not sure this part of the question, but how I got into songwriting, again,
Give it to us. We want it all. We want it
again,
all.
the Jackson 5, I used to listen to the words, and I listened to how some of the songs had a story behind it. There was a beginning, the middle, the chorus, and the end that resolved itself. It was sort of like a movie. And I was like, and I'm around about 11 or 12 at this time. And so what I started doing was write those lyrics down as poems, and I would give them to the girl I was seeing at the time and claim that I wrote them because they didn't listen to Jackson. That's a true story. That's a true story.
Smooth operator.
Yeah. And so that's a true story. Me practicing doing that got me into being able to create my own melodies and lyrics because I was a singer at first. That was
Okay.
my whole goal, was to be a singer. And it wasn't until I got to Denby High School. I moved here in Virginia in '86. And I was somebody found out that I could sing or something like that. And I went to this one girl. I don't know. I'm not going to mention her name. I went to her in the lunchroom. And she said, I heard you could sing this, that, and the other. I said, oh, yeah, I wrote this song last night. You know what I'm saying? She want to hear it? You want to hear it? She said, yeah, yeah. So I started out, I can't wait to get to school each day and wait for you to pass my way. So I started singing that, right? She said, oh my God, that is the most beautifulest song I've ever heard in my life. Not knowing that I stole it from the Jackson 5 before Troop did it.
Yeah,
And so,
yeah.
and so she hooked me up with this other singer that was in school, and I sang that song to him, this, that, and that. He ain't know. Nobody knew because nobody listened to the Quiet Storm like that, like I did.
Right.
And that song was on the Quiet Storm. And so, I think it was like probably a year or two later, Troop comes out with that version of the song, and I'm sitting here looking around, it's like, I hope they don't remember that was the song I sang to them. So that's how I got into songwriting. Babyface, one of my favorite songwriters. Teddy Riley, one of my favorite producers. Quincy Jones. I study a lot of different producers that's not even in the genre, like George Martin from the Beatles. I studied him. Actually, had a chance to talk to him one time.
Wow, what was that like?
Yeah, well, it was exciting. I was surprised he even answered the phone. I was working with a group.
I'm surprised you had his number. Shoot.
We'll get into all that because at that time I was signed to Motown.
Okay.
And the group.
Shout out to Jennifer Lude. She says hi, Tim. She's commenting from Amazon.
What up, Jennifer? How you doing?
But please carry on.
Yeah, because I was signed to Motown at the time. The group I was working with, which we'll get into in a minute, they were signed to Capitol Records. Now, Beatles records were distributed through Capitol Records in the States back in the day through EMI, but they got the address and phone numbers to every engineer, every producer, every anybody that was in the industry. And I saw George Martin. I said, "Oh, I'm working with this kind of group. I wonder if he can give me some advice," not knowing he's going to answer. And he answered, and he said, I asked him, I said, "How do I work with a pop group like you did with the Beatles?" He said, well, I can't do his English accent, but he said that, well, you just got to do it on your own. You just got to make up your own thing, just that's what it was. I can't really think about what else to do. That was it.
Yeah. George, man, come on, man.
Real talk. I had balls back then. I wouldn't do it nowadays.
That is crazy, man.
Yeah.
So you're at Motown,
mm-hmm.
and you're working at Motown. How was that experience at Motown? What was that like? Because we all love, everybody loves Motown now. We love Motown. Yeah. My son says hi, Tim. Avery says hey.
What's going on? What's going on? How you doing?
so now Motown, you're at Motown. How, number one, how do you get to Motown? And then how was
Okay.
your experience being there?
Okay, I got through to Motown through Michael Bivins from BBD. Michael Bivins is the first manager that I've had in the music industry, directly in the music industry. And
Mm,
how I got with Michael Bivins was through this group, the one I was telling you about that I called George Martin. They were called Sudden Impact. Now, if you think
okay.
about, if you remember Boyz II Men's first video, Motown Philly, and there were 5 white guys in the video, that was my group I was producing.
Okay.
You ever see that video and you see five?
Everything again.
Yeah, if you see
Okay.
5 white dudes pointing at the camera like this, that's them.
Yeah. Yeah.
They
Okay.
got the deal with Mike, and they brought me along, and that's how he got me signed as a producer underneath Motown, which was like a dream come true for me.
Wow.
And I
Wow.
loved it.
Wow. And so that experience must have kind of groomed you for everything else you were getting ready to go into.
Yeah, it did. It really did, especially working with Biv because Biv was like Puffy before Puffy. He's the first Puffy to me. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And to actually build off of him, the only thing that happened, which happened throughout my career, is that by the time you get to a certain label, there's a changing of the guards. There's new people coming in running the stuff. And so they get rid of a lot of different things. And that's what happened with my situation with Motown.
Okay. I
Yeah.
got you. I
But
got
yeah,
you.
it was great.
All right. So and I gotta ask this because you're coming from Motown background of music, and what is your take on music today?
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. It's just, I mean, it's supposed to change. I like what's going on nowadays. I understand a lot of people have gripes as far as like it's not music like it was before. But shoot, in the 80s, the music wasn't like it was in the 70s. In the 90s, the music wasn't like it was in the 80s. If that was the case, we will all still be singing like the Beatles, the Temptations, and all that stuff. Music would still be the same. It's about growth and it's about the next generation. So I'm not mad at it.
Right, right, right. You're like, it's an art. It's gonna evolve. It's gonna
Yeah,
change.
yeah,
You know, I think a lot of us have to have that perspective when it comes to art and music, away from the the bad things that happen within the culture.
yes,
You know, but the art form, we know that that stuff is gonna change.
yeah.
I have to touch on this product, Tim, and
Okay.
I specifically chose this product because you're on. Now, for those who don't know, uh, Tim Byrd is a producer, but he also teaches the craft. And I got to show you this because I still use it,
Oh wow.
and it's one of our products in the carousel.
Oh wow.
But
Oh,
this is the bad boy that Tim Byrd showed me how to use, technique, get busy with, and produce my own music. See, this is why I I'm not waiting for y'all producers no more for my beats. All right, I'm not waiting. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. He got
yeah. Don't wait for anybody.
yeah. We not waiting. Shout out to Native Instrument. Maybe Machine will since we're doing it. Maybe they'll send me some free stuff so we
Yeah.
so
Come
we can
on, Native Instruments. Send us some stuff.
yeah hook us up, man, so we can play this stuff on live for you.
Right.
Um, but what how did you end up becoming a teacher of the craft? And I know that just from dealing with you that you're sharing information, you're fine with teaching, giving your opinion, but to go into a class setting, how did that come about?
Well, shout out to Daryl Sloan, who manages Knots, which a lot of people don't know that Daryl Sloan used to manage me before I got Motown. I knew Daryl since I was 16 years old, and
Mm,
he's known me for years, and he's known my temperament. You know what I mean? He knows I got patience and just that and the other. He hit me up and asked me, he said, yo, Jazz and Korea are sponsoring the class. You know, I think you would be good to teach it. So I never taught before. He said, Tim, I know you could do it, bro. I see how you talk to people. Plus, you give information away for free. Why not do it? I was like, all right.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man,
Shout out to Daryl Sloan.
shout out to Daryl. Shout out to Daryl Sloan, man. A good dude. Good dude.
Yeah.
And so what was your experience like in doing that? Where did you like going into that setting? Was it a change for you, a challenge?
All of the above. I was nervous every day I went to teach class. I ain't gonna lie, I don't know if it showed or not. I was nervous as I don't know. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm hoping that these people will take what I'm saying because I'm giving them jewels. And one thing I said to myself, I said, Tim, one thing you're good at is teaching things from a everyday perspective, not with technical, terms and stuff like that. If you can get that across, you'd be good. But I was nervous every single time.
But I'll tell you, that's one of the things that made it so easy for me. Because it
That's
wasn't all the technical stuff. It was like, Avery, do this, do that, and make it like this. This is how you get started. Let
right.
me make it simple for you.
Mhm.
And I thought that was dope. So if I don't know if you do private sessions, but
It's coming. It's coming.
Okay, so it's coming. So y'all look up Tim Byrd. He does have a website. I'm gonna be shouting this website out through this interview, but it's timbyrdmusic.com. TIMBYRDMUSIC.com. And he does have his contact information up there. And I'll post it up here in a few. But yeah, I think that's dope because it allows someone who's getting into getting into producing a chance to get with somebody who's actually producing.
That's true.
Who knows the ins and outs and knows what, like I skipped a big learning curve. Like a lot of people got to figure out what instrument they want to get, what beat maker, what to use with it, how to wire it, how to do this. Man, I was making beats in about a week and a half, bro, and it would have been quicker.
But from the class?
Yeah, I think I started making beats. I was making beats like I might have made one right after the first class. I was pretty close.
Dope.
I was already pretty close. It was quick, man. That's why me and Chris were talking, and his beats are crazy now.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. Well, shoot, good luck.
So yeah, we appreciate that. I definitely recommend somebody going to that beat class.
That's what it is.
Y'all go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Y'all go ahead and get that that E-Machine in the carousel. Cop that. Email Tim Byrd and go ahead and get your production crackling.
Yep. You know what's crazy? I did not know you were the Averex. I've heard of you before. Didn't know that this guy's sitting in my class.
Oh,
because remember we had masks on.
Oh yeah, that was like pre-COVID, right in COVID. Yeah.
That was right in the middle, beginning to going into it. Yep.
Yeah, I didn't know who I was going to learn from. I just figured, I said, well, Jazz said it was good. Let me roll up here.
That's what. Shout out to Jazz.
And they said Tim Byrd. I said, man, y'all jokers done got me some platinum status type stuff going on here. It's a wrap for me. I said, it's a wrap. I'm never going back. Chris Hunt says, Tim's a great teacher. He was the first person to teach me.
Yeah, shout out to Chris. What's crazy, you guys already had it in you. I think I just had to give you the steps to keep it going. You guys are dope.
Yeah, I mean, but it's still, man, it can be overwhelming, the whole experience on what to get, I mean, you cut the learning curve, so
I agree with that.
That learning curve is serious in that one right there. And I know Chris, I mean, he's turned all the way up now. That joke is sampling and him playing the sample before. I had a couple joints. I was like, yo, Chris, I need that. Send that joint over. Oh, for real. So
shout out to Chris.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you did your thing. So we're gonna keep rolling through. But before we touch on, we're gonna go into a few things, shout out to Tim Byrd for thank you for taking the time to come on, man. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me, bro.
And we're gonna get into some more questioning. We're gonna run a quick commercial break, a quick one, and let me just cue us up here. We're gonna run a quick commercial break, and then we're gonna come back. We're gonna ask Tim Byrd about working with artists like Boys to Men, Aaliyah, Timbaland, Knots, okay, AK. We're gonna go through the whole thing. The brother was at Motown, so y'all just heard some Motown stories and speaking with the Beatles on the phone. Come on, man, we bringing it to you live right here. All right, quick commercial break, and we'll be right back. This is the 68-inch lamp, okay? Really good for living areas, bedroom. You can use it in the kitchen. Really like this lamp. It comes with a remote control, so you can dim, turn on, and turn off the light, brighten the light if you want. Really cool. Multiple controls, of course. With the remote control, you can easily control the floor lamp without leaving the bed or the sofa. You can really just kick back and be relaxed. And then it also has the hand control where you can dim up and down. You can turn off and on the light. Another thing I really like about this lamp, it has the adjustable feature so you can direct the lighting wherever you want it to go in the room. Awesome lamp right here. Really like it. Good price. Guys, check this out. All right, y'all. That's the motion lamp. That lamp is fire, just to let y'all know. That lamp is fire. That joint bends. It got a remote control with it. I mean, I love that lamp. We use it all the time. We use it every day. And I like the remote feature. I may hook it up to Alexa soon, though, so I'm going to take out the remote. All right, y'all. We back. Step into the Light podcast. We in the Light Club right now with my man Tim Byrd, the producer extraordinaire. It's going down here at the Light Club. You guys are only getting this stuff over here now. We got Tim Byrd in the building. We got more questions for you, brother. If y'all have questions, be sure to drop them in the chat. All right. Yeah. We're gonna move right through it. Now, this is the question, man, that I really had to ask because everybody knows who Aaliyah is. Rest in peace to Aaliyah. And just a phenomenal artist. I mean, I think she set the tone for R&B artists in this time. And in her time, she was definitely before her time.
Yeah.
But how was it working with her? How was it working with Aaliyah?
Easy. She was easy. As far as to work with, the nicest person I met in the industry, and it's very rare, especially with her stature and the way she looks. Yeah. Because, you know, a beautiful girl, and she could easily act a certain way. No, all love, which was crazy when I worked with Aaliyah. She was, I can't say she was nervous, but she always liked the lights off in the booth. And she didn't want anybody else in the room except for the producer and the engineer. She had everybody leave.
Wow.
I was actually shocked. I'm sitting here watching her while she's singing to one of my songs that I wrote. I wish it got released, but one of the songs I wrote. And she called me out when I showed her the lyric sheet, right? And I tried to spell her name. And how I tried to spell her name was through that song, Who Is There? R-Y-A-H. So I tried to remember that song.
Yeah.
So I didn't know how to spell it right. And she's like, oh man, I like these lyrics. I was like, oh, thanks. You know you spelled my name wrong, right? But she said it's all good. And I wish I had footage. Somebody has some footage of us in the studios at Sony Studios in New York. And I wish that somebody had the footage to show. I mean, she was a great talent. I was signed to the same label as her. Well, her uncle, underneath her uncle's label, which was Black Round Records. That's how I got to work with her.
Oh, okay. So you guys were label you were label mates as well.
In a sense, because she was still with, I think, Atlantic, but Black Crown Records technically was supposed to be her label, but it's ran by Barry Hankerson, her uncle.
Okay, got you, got you.
Yeah.
So you're in the studio with Aaliyah,
Yep.
and Aaliyah puts everyone out
Yep.
except for you and the engineer.
And you know, it's funny when she said she wanted everybody to leave. I also got up. She said, "No, no, no, no." You know, I didn't know, I didn't know if she was just going to do it herself, whatever. But and she took direction, and I'm nervous. You know what I mean? This is Aaliyah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So you're getting ready to leave. You
Yeah. I got up.
you getting ready to leave, and she's like, nah, hold on.
Yeah.
You orchestrating this thing. That I mean that's just a smart artist right there. Look, you made the beat, you got the lyrics, man. I need all the distractions to roll on out.
Yeah, and
But
she, you
even
know,
the possibility of a
and
distraction.
what I tried to do to also build a relationship because I was new to Black Round, and what I also wanted to do was try to get her to write on it. I said, even if you want to change some of the words that I wrote, so that way it's more towards you. She said, I don't write. I usually let the writers write for me, and I'll just interpret what you wrote. I say, all right, cool.
Man.
And there's a copy of that song online somewhere. It's called Ain't Never. It was with the same group that I was telling you about that was in the Boys and Men's first
Okay.
video.
Yep.
Sudden Impact, they became Outsiders for Life. And we did a song, a short duet with her.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. So at this point in your career, you're working with the lead. Now, your mind got to be blown. You ready to? I mean, you ready to go at this point?
Oh yeah, we was with the hottest label in the industry at that time, outside of Rockefeller. You know what I mean? That
Wow.
was the
Yeah.
hottest R&B label at that time. Because you had Timbaland, you had Missy. Well, they weren't signed to the label, but they would touch. There was like direct contact if they were being managed or somewhere connected with Aaliyah's uncle. You had Genuine, you had Tank, you had Player, you had all of them.
Wow. Wow. So you're in the midst of all this. So you now tell me at what point, you're at this point you're following your dreams, right?
Yeah.
At what point do you say, well, hey, look, I'm all in? Are you all in at this point?
As far as what do you mean?
Just as far as this is what I'm gonna do, because I'm sure you have people in your ear like, hey, look, you need to go ahead and get a job, you know,
Oh yeah, I'm
food.
very good at cutting people off who talk like that. So I was already all in before I even got with Black Round because before Black Round I was with Boys and Men's label. After they folded in '97, I was all in. No job, no nothing. I'm doing this. I don't care what you say. I don't care if you family. Out of here with that negativity.
Wow, wow. Tim Byrd is in the building. We're talking Tim Byrd and Aaliyah right now. We
Yeah.
we need to find that track. And somebody, I'm just gonna put it out there. Somebody, if somebody out there has that footage, Tim Byrd needs that footage. We need that footage, man. That
Yeah,
this
I
is
got a
legendary
grainy
stuff.
footage on my Instagram page, and it's that time. It's actually that time when she hasn't gotten to the point to where she tells everybody to leave. Right now, she was just sitting down, and we were going over the song, but it's so grainy you can't even tell, and you can hear my voice a little bit, but it's so grainy because remember them cameras we used to have? Nobody
Yeah,
knew how to
yeah.
film with them. Yeah,
We're gonna
it's
have
on
to
my
get somebody
Instagram.
to
Yep.
remaster that joint. I had some footage like that, and it was Guru. We were in Boston
Woo!
doing a show, and bruh, I've been looking for this footage for about, I don't know, man, maybe 10 years or so. So it's been a while.
Yeah.
But we did his birthday party in Boston, and he gives me a shout out on stage. And shout
Whoa.
out to Ava Rex. Ava Rex is in the build. Shout out to Ava Rex. And I'm watching, we found the footage now. We watched the whole thing. And I'm like, he ain't say it. I'm like, I remember him saying it.
Right.
Look, right before the footage cuts off at the very end, there's probably like 2 seconds left. And he's like, shout out to Ava Rex. And I
Wow.
was like, we got it. We got it.
Wow.
Shout out to Domingo Guyton for getting that footage, man. He had it all this time. He was blowing it up. He said, Abe, I found it. He was like, I found it, man. And so maybe we can connect and get him to remaster. He had to remaster that footage. He had somebody do it.
Oh,
So
really?
maybe we
Like
could do that with that
restoration
Aaliyah footage. And
like restoring it or something like that?
yeah, he was able to restore it and get the sound right and stuff like that.
You see, I was terrible when I was in the industry. I was terrible about taking pictures and this, that, and the other. Because for one, at that time, I wasn't the type of person that wanted to be up front. I always wanted to stay in the background, to my detriment, and sometimes it gave me peace. But whenever I was in a situation, I could have taken so many pictures, but I'm so much in the moment, I'm not thinking about it. You know what I
Right.
mean? Take
Yeah.
a picture. Let's stop and take a picture because I know I'm there. I don't have nothing to prove, but now I wish I had it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm the same way, man. I'm like, man, we in here. Well, we gotta,
Yeah.
I'm like that. I had a matter of fact, this weekend I kind of went through that. I had family in town and I wanted the pictures and stuff, but I was so busy in the moment.
Right.
I wanted to be in the moment and take everything in and be around everyone. Then I said, man, let me get this phone out. Let me get my camera out. Started taking a few pictures and stuff and kind of push through that. But I feel just what you're saying, man.
Yeah. Sometimes you just want to be in the moment. And there's nothing wrong with that. Not everything has to be shown, but I understand with what I do. A lot of people have to see it, and especially in this day and age. I had to force myself to get in the front. I really did.
Right.
I was okay being in the background. I was okay nobody knowing who I was.
Yeah. So and some people are just content behind the scenes and orchestrating and doing what they love to do. They ain't got to be all in the video. Yeah, I said that the other night on the stream, and I don't think anybody on the stream got it. They're just like, okay.
Are you serious? Okay.
Yeah, they're like, okay.
Oh,
All right. He's laughing at himself again.
Yeah, that's classic.
Shout out to Amazon, everybody on our Amazon stream. What's up? Shout out to everybody on Facebook, YouTube. Go ahead and hit that follow, like, and subscribe. We have producer extraordinaire Tim Byrd in the building. His music is in the carousel, so if you're scrolling through this carousel, definitely check his music out. We're gonna play a little bit of it here in a few, but we're just going through some Q&A with Tim Byrd, and this is fun for me, man. I love to hear the stories. I love to hear, it's like I can almost like go back and just see exactly what was happening. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm very visual in that way, so I'm enjoying myself.
That's what it is. Same here, bro. I love it though. I love telling those stories. It's a lot that I've seen that I don't want to mention. And no, I don't believe in Illuminati. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care. That's on y'all.
Yeah, so. People start getting me all sketchy when they start talking about that stuff.
Yeah. That's one of those other negative turn-offs.
Yeah. So we're moving through this thing, and so at what point do you start? At what point do you start really just getting a grasp of who you are in the industry? Because we hear about a lot of people going into the industry and kind of losing touch with who they are and kind of just don't really come full circle to their artistry or to who they are as a producer until a certain point. At what point do you kind of grasp who you are, what you want to do, where you're at? Is it early on? Was it, with Motown? Where did you know?
It was really after the industry. when I really realized who I was within it. Because when you're in it, you're in the industry, and you try to do what you can to get that attention. Now, one thing I can say, personality wise, I never fell victim to one trying to be with like somebody else or try to fit in. So
Right.
I was like that early on. If it was negative to me, I didn't deal with it regardless of who got mad at me. I've always been that way even when I was a kid. So that was just something different. But after the industry, I was doing music for everybody else prior to. It was always everybody else. And then after the industry, I started to realize, who are you, Tim Byrd?
Right.
And I had to just take a deep look and just be okay with it. I don't have to be the big Timberlands. I don't have to be, all the big stuff that I aspired to, those levels of success or notoriety. I didn't have to do that or be that to be okay. So
Yeah,
yeah.
that's powerful stuff, man. We got a question on our Amazon Live from Chris Huns. He asked, when was your first experience with hip hop and who was the artist?
He's talking about, I'm wondering if he's referring to when I first heard it or it's a good question.
Maybe
My first,
maybe
okay, I'll make it simple. My
okay.
first experience with hip hop was when Rapper's Delight came out. That was it. That was my first experience. Well, it was considered rap at that time, but my first experience because I wasn't in New York, and loved the culture, all of it. I've done every single one of the things in the culture from graffiti, DJing, breakdancing, and rhyming. I used to rap. So I touched the whole culture. See, when I talk about I'm music, I am music. I live it. I don't play with this. And
Yeah.
and I'll say what changed my life as far as like writing and producing, and it happens to be a hip hop artist. When I started writing lyrics for songs that changed my life was Rakim. I ain't no joke. That's the song that actually changed the way I started writing R&B.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's saying when you first heard it. Shout out to Luzlin. What up, Lou? What up, Lou? Love y'all out there. That's my Massachusetts family. My little nephew Spicy, Sir Spice a lot, came through this weekend. Shout out to Sir Spicy. Every time I ask this guy that Tim, every time I'm laughing thinking about it. He'll look me in the eyes and he's like, "You want me to get spicy?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's get spicy." And we just start dancing wherever we at. It don't matter where you at.
That's
And,
what it
and
is.
he'll just pop out from somewhere, man. He'll just pop out from a chair or something. Look at me. You want to get spicy? Let's do it. Yeah,
That's
I had a
crazy.
great time with that guy, man. Shout out to Lou. If you guys are just joining us, welcome to the Light Club. Be sure to hit that follow button. Check out the carousel. See if there's anything that you like in there. All right. And thanks for coming through, Tim Byrd. We appreciate it, man. We not done with you yet, man. I got
That's
some
what it is.
I got some questions for you. Yeah, Chris said yes when you first heard it, and he said classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
Now, I know we got to move on, but back to the
No,
rapper.
no, no. Take your time.
Now back to the rapper thing. Now back in those days, and this is like 86, 87, something like that when I started rapping. Me and my boy Rico Young and a couple of my cousins, we used to do battle raps off the top of the head. Back then, you couldn't write nothing down. You had to have battle raps, and you were battling somebody else by trying to take them down.
Yeah.
And I knew this one contest. You remember the DYM Fort Eustis?
Yep.
Yep. We used to battle up there with DJ Timmy Tim and all that, this, that, and the other. But there was this one room where we had to get at this one group. And I forgot the name of the group. But I wanted the guy in his group, I wanted his girl. So I said, I'm going to win this battle to take his girl. So we battling back and forth. Yo, they tore us up so bad. One, I was embarrassed. Two, I gave up rapping for the rest of my life that
You
day.
was done, huh?
Yep. I was done.
All right, Chris, we got you. That's the battle rap of the decade.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like Papa Doc on 8 Mile. I had nothing to say.
But Papa Doc was all right though. Papa Doc
Yeah,
was all
no,
right.
Eminem got him at the end.
Yeah, he
That was
did.
me.
Yeah, he did. He did. He put it on him.
Yeah.
Luzlin says Mr. Spice heard you was was cheesing from ear to ear. Love you. Yeah, man. I mean, just the way that music influences and the things that you can do through music can be great. It can be really good, man. So we
Yes.
appreciate you just being a teacher and just sharing your knowledge with us and all of that. I think that makes and it moves the culture, right? It keeps
Yeah,
people in tune and it does all those things,
no doubt.
Um, so shout out to Tim Byrd. He's in the building, y'all. We're gonna get into his music in a second, so stick around, and we're gonna jump to another commercial break, and we'll be back. We got some more questions. We're gonna ask him about working with uh, Timbaland, Knots. Uh, I mean, the list goes on and on. We got BET, MTV, growing up hip hop, all these things. Music syncing. Some of y'all are into music syncing and want to know how can you get into it or what it takes to do it or what you got to do. And Tim Byrd's in the building. So right after our commercial break, we'll be right back.
That's what it is.
Single serve coffee maker, 6 to 14 ounce brew sizes, fits in a travel mug or a mini cup. This coffee maker will get you rolling and get you cooking throughout the day. Check it out. How you like my commercial voice, man?
I like it. It works.
Man, I'm trying, man. I got a cousin who lives in Australia. Shout out to Rodney O. He's a radio personality. He was a Australian, I guess NBA. What is it, AUBA or something like that? But he does these voiceovers now for like different commercials and stuff. I gotta share it with you, man.
Nice.
He calls himself the Voice.
That's nice. Now, that's a great field to get into, especially if you have that voice for it.
Oh yeah. I don't know if I got the voice for it yet. We're gonna find out.
Nah, it sounded pretty good.
All right. Now, all y'all out there who are hiring voiceovers, I
Yep.
got the cosign from one of the greatest producers ever. Come on now, don't slip.
Give
Sometimes
him
you
a
try to
shot.
get him and he's gone. Tim Byrd is in the building, y'all. His music's in the carousel. Go ahead and go through the carousel. Check him out. All right, we got 2 singles in there, but those links will bring you to all his music.
Yeah. I think those are like cinematic type joints that I did for like TV and stuff like that. I just released albums on
Okay, okay. Speaking of TV,
them.
since we over here, what is the difference? Well, let's bring it back. Let me go back. How do you like um, doing TV, or how did you not? How did you get into doing TV?
Oh,
Let's
music
go.
for TV.
Yeah,
Um,
how did you get into that?
well, after Aaliyah passed and the label folded, I came back to Virginia, got me a 9 to 5, and I was trying to figure out ways to make a living off of my music. And the first thing I was working for Sprint, and they used to have this on hold music. I was like, yo, this stuff sucks. I can make better stuff than this. So I did research on ringtones and on hold music, and I found out that you could submit your music for that. I was like, oh wow, that's dope. And then time started changing quick. It really changed quick to where people were downloading ringtones of famous music. So I was like, that's out of here. Let me see if I can get behind TV. Did a
Yeah,
lot of research and online, and found out, hey, you can get it through. You can get your music on TV through certain channels. And a couple of people had the list. There it goes, the list again. The list to all the companies that actually accept music for TV and film. And I
wow.
hit them all up. A lot of
You,
people at Sprint didn't even know while I was working there that I was getting royalty checks from Catfish while I was working there. Half of them didn't even know I did music because I never talked about it. They'll tell you.
hold on. You mean Catfish the TV show?
Yeah, yeah, I got music behind on some of the episodes on that too.
The joint where people be faking like they somebody else
Yeah,
on the internet joint.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I love that show.
Yeah, me too.
I love that show. It'd be a dime piece on there, boy. It'd be a dime. You pull up, you like, oh man, you ain't even a woman. Joker been talking to a man this whole time.
Yep,
Good
yep,
gracious. Then here you come with the drama music.
yeah.
Don't.
But I've always been into music behind film, even when I was a kid. It was kind of quirky too. That was another thing. I love listening to the emotions of music behind. I didn't know that was what I was listening to. The emotion behind scenes of different scenes in a movie. There's a certain emotion that they create. I thought they were just creating the music just to be creating it. No, it's carefully thought out. So one day, I never forget this. One day I was in New York. I think this is a day after I worked with Aaliyah. I wanted to get I wanted to create something like Puffy did with that Godzilla soundtrack. Remember he did that, whatever
Yeah.
that big song that he had with the Godzilla movie. And I said, you know what? Around the corner there was Virgin Records or something like that, and I went there to find some cinematic albums. The first one I got was The Omen, the soundtrack to The Omen, and everybody was tripping on me because it's some dark, scary stuff, and I would listen to it in the dark, and I would study it, and that's how I learned how to make music for TV and film.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy. So we got Catfish
Yeah,
Vice on Showtime.
yeah. Some music behind that, and the ID channel, a couple of shows like Ice Cold Killers and things like that. Just background music.
Wow. Wow. So what is the difference when is there a difference when you're going to make a beat from John, because you're working in multiple genres, right?
Yeah,
You're not just like R&B. You could do hip hop, you could
yeah,
do background music. I
yeah.
mean, are you going into a different mind state? You got to like kind of, are you watching certain things? How do you get into your groove to what you're about to create?
Basically, what you just said, I just get into a mindset. I pretend like I'm a different person if I go to a certain genre that I'm creating. Like, for
Mhm.
example, if I'm doing like sports music, I'm not Tim Byrd. I'm actually another guy who's creating the sports music so I can get in the mood. So I'll do research. I'll listen to I'll watch a bunch of shows. I'll listen to what they're playing the most behind certain things and then recreate it and mimic it in my own way. Same thing with trap music. Same thing with even rock. But I don't get as far as deep rock because unless I have a guitarist here, I understand rock music. So if I had like a guitarist here, I can make a whole rock song. And it's just a matter of what they're looking for, and I'll just create a list of those and send them out.
Wow. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So now, do you play any instruments?
No. I understand since I can sing and I can create harmonies.
Uh-huh.
I know how to figure out certain notes that I'm trying to find on the keyboard. So I can record a couple of bars of what the ideas, but then I have to copy and paste. But I'll put it this way. I'm like a song stylist to where I can put a whole song together without having to hire an instrument, a person who plays instrument and make it sound like that instrument.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't know if there's any musicians on listening, but this is kind of like Ray Charles not seeing the keys but just playing. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
this is like because you're essentially like I mean I could produce some stuff, but I'm like 4 bar. Give me a loop or something and let me.
Right.
I could add some drum. I put some bass on there. I can build it up.
Right.
But I mean, when you're going that far to the broad range of music that you're doing, that's almost I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah,
That's
it was in me. Thanks. It was in me since I was a kid. I remember when we used to drive from DC to Ohio because my parents' hometown is Toledo, Ohio. And that was like a 10-hour
okay.
ride. And whenever they would play the radio, certain songs would come on and I'll hear them, but in my mind, I'll solo out just the bass line. Even
Right.
though in my mind I'm soloing, and then I'm changing the bass line in my head to go somewhere else and muting everything else out. I've been like that since I was a kid. I still do it to this day.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that's how I really got to learn different instruments and how they're played. So if I was to get with the whole band, I will understand where they're coming from. They can just bring it more to life because they actually play.
Right. Right. Mm, that's tough stuff.
Yeah.
That's tough stuff. We're live here with Tim Byrd, y'all.
What
We
up,
are
y'all?
we are live, y'all. We are live. If you're just joining us, go ahead and hit that follow button, subscribe, like, check out the carousel. We're here with Tim Byrd. We're talking about Aaliyah. We just went through I mean, in the studio with Aaliyah, just producing, doing what he does. But we're gonna jump in. I got some more questions for him. Next up, I did want to know, you're from Virginia. And I know you've done some things with Timbaland as well.
Yeah.
And I don't know if any of y'all know who. Oh, thank you for the follow, Luzlin. Feel free to browse the carousel, click on mute so when I'm live, you can hear me well. Comment in the chat. Where you from? Where you at? Thanks again for the follow. Here's a pound in the
Love
chat.
it.
That's my little follow song I got for Amazon.
No, that's
Right.
dope.
But so Timbaland, and just so people know, y'all know who Timbaland is. Timbaland works with Missy Elliott, with Genuine, did some work with Aaliyah as well. One of the big, I mean, Versus. This is one of the biggest producers in the world.
Yeah.
How do
100%.
you end up working with Timbaland? How does Tim Byrd and Timbaland come together and do some things?
Through Blackground and the group I was working with, Outsiders for Life, I always created the originals and Timbaland would do the remixes. And there are 2 remixes that he did of my songs. Who Are You and Hell Yeah. Hell Yeah ended up at the end of Exit Wounds, the movie Exit Wounds.
Oh
But they
yeah,
left my
yeah,
name
with
off.
DMX.
Yeah, yeah, DMX and Steven Seagal. Yeah, they left my name off the credits. But that's another story within itself. But through Black Round is how I actually got to work with Timbaland and Jimmy Douglas. Jimmy Douglas was as an engineer, was a crazy engineer, giving him that sound to make sure
Yeah.
his sound like hits hard like that.
Yeah, yeah. A lot of people don't know how that engineer can make things come together.
Yeah.
It can make a non-singer be a singer, right?
Well, especially nowadays.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And so, any tours with them? Did you do any traveling in that time or anything like that?
Oh yeah, the group Outsiders for Life that I was working with, we because like I said, that was basically my group. I wasn't in the group, but I was like the sixth member. We used to do shows for like Jagged Edge, open up for Jagged Edge, Ludacris, Shaggy, anybody was going on in the early 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. We was on tour with them, especially on the West Coast. So I was really, yeah, I was actually doing the sound. I was an engineer, live sound engineer, every show that we did. I didn't know what I was doing, but I had to make sure my boys came correct. You know what I mean?
Wow, wow, that's dope, man. That's dope.
Yeah.
I mean, that tour life, man, could take a toll on you now.
Yeah.
It
I
can.
can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, the producers like kind of like to be doing what they do, producing.
Yeah, I was like that too. I was always in the studio.
And so with the Outsiders, you're Outsiders for Life, right?
Right.
But they started off as the Outsiders.
They started off as Sudden Impact, which is the
Oh,
five white
Sudden
dudes in
Impact.
Motown Philly video. After Biv, um, after Biv left Motown, we were Dolo, just that, and looking for another deal. Boys and Men ended up getting their record deal because we knew Boys and Men before they came out with their first album. They used to come to Newport News all the time.
Really?
And play basketball. Yeah, used to come from Philly and play basketball with us in Newport News before their first album came out. So when they blew up and their second album blew up, they were on tour and ran into two of the guys that was in Sudden Impact at that time. And at this time, we were growing musically because we always create music in the house. We wanted the first people that will record songs that sounded quality without a booth in the middle of the room in our house. So they, Mike McCary from Boys Men, the one with the bass, he loved what we were doing. He said, we're starting our own label called Stone Creek. I want to sign you guys, blah, blah, blah. So we moved up to Pennsylvania and started working with Boys Men.
Hold on a second. So you playing ball with them before they blow up.
Yep.
And they coming down here, y'all balling, chilling, just shooting the breeze, all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
They go back, Motown, Philly, and all that stuff happens.
Yep.
And then so that relationship was still there, and then they wanted to sign you.
Yeah. Once they blew up with their second album and they got all that big money, because remember, they sold like 20 million copies. So they had money. And they started their own label through Sony.
Wow. So then you guys come from Newport News, Virginia. Shout out to everybody in Newport News.
Yes.
Y'all know what time it is, Newport News, man. We got so many producers. We got so many producers out here. I mean, it's just a blessing to be able to vibe with them and get the inside scoop on what and what nots. But so you then they're like, hey, we want to sign y'all, come on down. So now you're working with Boys to Men.
Yep. In the studio every day. They got us an apartment, Alden Park, which was like one of them apartments that looked like in Different Strokes. You remember the show Different Strokes?
Yeah.
Remember the apartment he lived in? It looked just
yeah.
So we all stayed there. All six of us stayed there. And we would go to their studio. They had a studio called Stone Creek Studios, which was an old building that Will Smith used to own. And he bought it from Will Smith, and we used to record that. I was supposed to be on that Usher's "You Make Me Want to Be the One I'm With" album, and something happened to where it didn't happen. But a lot of stuff was happening at Boys and Men Studio during that time. This is like
Wow.
96, 97.
Wow. So I mean, people was probably just dropping through.
Yeah.
Every time they come through Philly, we're gonna come and see what's up at the studio. That I mean, that's the studio vibe right there.
Yeah. Anybody would come through. I remember one time, because Wanye from Boys and Men, he used to date Left Eye early on when they were like during the first album. And
Wait, hold on. Come on, man. See,
oh,
y'all getting the scoop here now.
I thought
Y'all-
everybody
come on,
knew that.
Come on, man. Y'all getting the inside scoop, man.
Yeah,
Welcome to the Light Club. Let me just welcome to the Light Club, y'all. Welcome to the Light Club. Tim Byrd is in the building. You getting the come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now, man. Was dating Left Eye?
Yeah, he was dating Left Eye during the Motown Philly days, those early days when TLC first came out.
Really?
Yeah,
I
during
didn't
that
know
time.
that.
Yeah, so
Did y'all
years
know that
later,
out there? I
I
didn't
thought
know
everybody
that.
knew it.
Nah.
Yeah, and he was dating Brandy too. I think everybody knew about that.
Nah. I
Oh
didn't know
wow,
he
yeah,
was.
she used to come to the studio. She used to come to the studio with the girl Six that used to play on Blossom, but she ended up playing on, was it Moesha or the Parkers? One of those shows. The Caucasian girl.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
she used to come by with her, but she was dating Wanye at that time. But prior to that, he used to date Left Eye. And remember, Left Eye set the house on fire on Andre Weiser, right?
Yeah, Left Eye a little hood. She a
Right.
little hood.
So we're at the studio, and Wanye comes in. He said, "Yo, Left Eye's coming by," and the whole studio's wooden. He said, "Let's make sure there ain't no matches around."
Oh, yeah. He didn't say that.
Yes, he did. I wouldn't even make that up. Yeah.
So
Rest in peace,
probably
rest in peace.
joking. He was probably joking on her about it.
Yeah, he was
Hey
joking.
girl, don't be setting my stuff on fire now.
Now TLC, I met them a couple of times. TLC, you could tell that they were stars, no matter what. And one thing I liked about TLC, they didn't play as far as that whole feminine stuff being feminine. They didn't talk about being, I'm fighting for women's rights. They were women's rights.
They
When
just
they
did
shook
it.
your hand, they shook your hand stronger than you did.
Mm,
They weren't playing.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I knew
crazy.
Pink, I knew Pink before she came out.
Who was that? Run that back for me.
Pink,
Hey,
the
oh, come
artist
on,
Pink.
man. Come
Yeah.
on, man.
Yeah, the boy, because Pink was in a girl group called Choice. There were three girls, three Caucasian girls, and
Yeah.
Boys II Men was going to sign them. This was the same time I was signed with Boys II Men, but they passed on them. I told Nate, the one of the lead singers of Boys II Men, I told him when they did showcase, I said, "Yo, you need to jump on them, especially that girl in the middle, because she reminds me of a white T-Boz, because she always had the short
She
hair.
had that shortcut.
Yeah, she had the shortcut, and the other girls
Yeah.
had long hair. They looked like regular white girls. She stood out. They passed on her. Next thing you know, a couple of years later, she came out banged up.
Oh, they passed on Pink, bruh.
Yeah. Real talk.
How you gonna pass on? Oh, Moonbeam Riders, thank you for the follow. Feel free to browse the carousel. Click on mute so when I'm live, you can hear me well. Comment in the chat. Where you from? Where you at? Thanks again for the follow. Here's a pound and a dap. Man, y'all getting the exclusive right now. Shout out Moonbeam. Thank you for the follow. We got Tim Byrd in the building. He's just reminiscing with us, man. We getting into a good place here because I'm a story guy, man. Give me what you got, man. I like this right here, man.
Yeah, man. That was Boys Men was I'll say the best financial label that I was with. No, I can't say that. Black Round was good too. But as far as like I would get a monthly check being with Boys II Men, which is unheard of in the music industry.
Right. They would so they would just cut you a little. They would hit you with a little stipend just to keep you going, and whatever you doing on the side, you still had that.
Yeah.
But they was just hitting you for showing up and being, You know,
No, not even just 2,500 a month.
they're just hitting you with that boom.
That's it. And
And
then the
in
BET,
96,
yeah,
96, boy.
yeah,
Did
exactly.
you have kids at that time?
Yes, I had two daughters. Actually, my
Okay.
youngest was just born 97, and that was right before Stone Creek closed up.
Okay. Okay. Man, so you're signed now, you're signed to Boys to Men.
Hmm.
You from Motown, now you're signed to Boys to Men.
Yeah,
Left Eye's coming through the studio. Pink is coming through the studio. Brandy is in the studio.
Christian
And
Walker, everybody.
wow. Yeah, because that at that time, I mean, they're through the roof.
Yeah,
So it's like you pretty much have access to everything at that point.
everybody. You had access. There was nothing to see who was who, that would come through.
Wow. Wow. What was that? I mean, we're kind of talk about it, but what was that experience like when you go back, when you're thinking about that now? What was that like? I mean,
Oh, it was excellent. It was great. I think that was during the times when I was like a tad bit arrogant because look, I'm with the biggest dudes in the world, and I had a Range Rover, so I was stunting on everybody.
oh yeah.
Yeah, learned my lesson real quick.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
no, it was a
Eh,
great time. It was really a great experience. I learned a lot from them, and watching them work in the studio. It was great.
wow. And I think it's important that we do touch on that other side where you was just going,
Yeah,
because uh, you said you learned your lesson,
yeah,
and we're in the light club, y'all. And if we don't do nothing, we're gonna drop some jewels and teach some lessons.
real talk.
You know, what type of things in that time did you, when you say you learned your lesson? What kind of what are you talking about? What do you give us a little bit more specific for somebody who's out there listening and maybe wants to be in the music industry or something like that? Or
Right. Oh yeah, yeah. It would come to a point to where, since, like I said, you think you've already arrived, you got the biggest selling group in the world. So your friends, some of the friends that you have, you start to view them as lower than you, even though you don't treat them that way, but you see it that way. You know what I
right,
mean? You start to act different. I was never mean to anybody, but I was actually feeling myself. I had a Range Rover. I was the only one with the Range Rover here in Newport News at that time.
right,
You
right.
know? Yeah, and it was the one straight from England. You know what I mean? One
Mm,
of those. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So you really stunting on them.
Oh yeah, yeah. I was stunting on them. And the stupidest thing, this is what it was. I would spend money where I didn't have to. I loved the way Philly used to cut hair. So when we would move back to Virginia, sometimes I would actually drive to Philly every week. No, every weekend to get my hair cut and come back the same day. Now, mind you, remember I told you I had a Range Rover, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I would rent an SUV to do that.
You wouldn't even drive the Range Rover that you paid
Right,
for.
right. So I was just not thinking. I just figured it was going to last. But as far as like you start to realize how you kind of sun people,
Yeah,
and I'm the type of person that likes that understands, if I don't want that done to me, why would you do that to them?
yeah, yeah.
And Michael McCary, the bass guy who left the group, he told us one thing. He told all of us. He said, "Look, money is great." He said, "But one thing is, you're 20 times more who you are when you get that money. So if you're a person who treats people like crap before you get the money, you're 20 times more to do it worse. If
Yeah.
you're a nice person, you're 20 times going to be more of a nice guy 20 times over."
Mm, mm. Yeah, I can see that. I can certainly see that. We giving y'all the exclusive, y'all. We giving
Yeah.
y'all the exclusive. We're going through products. We're running through products and stuff, but we're with Tim Byrd right now, music producer extraordinaire. You hear me?
That's
It's
fun.
going down. It's going down.
That's
And
fun.
before we move forward, I'm just gonna show a few products real quick. This right here is a Roku Fire Stick. I'm sorry, Roku TV. Roku TV lets you do all your live streaming. Okay, you can add Amazon Prime, Apple Music. You can do your Hulu, Netflix, all on your Roku TV. And in addition to your Roku TV, we also have the one, the only Flash Fish. This is the Flash Fish portable charger. You can bring this bad boy to the beach. It got all your AC, DC ports. Okay, you can charge your cell phones on there while you're on the go, and that is fine. I'm gonna tell you, Tim. I use that product right there. I be showing stuff I use, man, and that bad boy. I had it at the beach,
Right.
and I almost felt like I was in the living room, bro.
Oh wow.
Because it got the regular charger too, so you like plugging your laptop in, you know, you're doing all that stuff, and it's on point, and it's 19% off for all y'all who want to check it out.
That's dope.
So
What is it called again?
it's called the Flash Fish.
Flash
And,
Fish.
Flash Fish. It's a portable charger.
Nice.
And you see in the front there, you got the regular outlets.
Gotcha.
That's the regular outlets. But here you got the USB in the back.
I see. That's sort of like a generator.
Yeah, man. You can hook up what do you call those things? The solar panels to it.
Oh wow.
You can solar power it outside. You know, it's good for camping, all that stuff, man.
Dope.
All that stuff. So y'all check that out. We got Tim Byrd in the building. We're going through our carousel, but we got some music we want to play. And this is some.
Fuel up with the Wawa. I can get.
I'm sorry. Let me turn this down. This is some deep. This is called Deeper Meaning, and this is from the Love and Massage soundtrack. And I just want to play it, but I also because this just feel like that background vibe. Man, what inspired this? Love and Massage.
One of you know, it's crazy. I was creating that album when I was teaching y'all.
Wow.
And one of the students' mother is she was a massage therapist, and she asked me. So I just got finished creating Love and Lo-Fi, and she asked, "Can I use this music for my massage therapy?" Just that, yeah. I was like, "I don't think so, but let me create a massage album."
That was it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm really when I listen to this is for me. This is what I like to read to.
Yeah.
You know, lay back, just vibe to. Oh, thank you.
Oh, hey.
I got my assistant. That was my little assistant.
That's what it is.
Kimberly calls them executive producers. I guess she's my executive producer.
Might as well.
But we're just gonna vibe out to this real quick for y'all. And we got all his music is in the carousel. Make sure y'all click the carousel. I'm actually gonna highlight it in the carousel right now.
Yeah, please do.
So you know exactly what I'm talking about here. Yeah, so this just like pretty much came out of nowhere.
Yeah, pretty much. So I wanted to create something that people can just play in the background and just have a conversation, or just relax and read, like you said, study, or just have it playing in the background, you know.
And I mean that's what we're doing right now.
Yeah,
This the theme music right here.
yeah.
This is theme music, man.
Thanks for playing it.
And I mean it it just kind of amazes me just the spectrum of music that you have, man. This is
I love music. I'm not gonna lie.
mm, deeper meaning, y'all. Love and massage. Check out the carousel. We got Tim Byrd, but this ain't the only. This ain't all. This ain't all, y'all.
Now there's a track up there that me and Skeet did like years ago, and I just put it up there. I just revamped it, updated it. Me and Ski Beats. Now me and Ski go way back.
Okay. Talk,
If y'all don't know Ski Beats used to be part of this group called Busy Boys. He became Original Flavor, and he's the one who did majority of A Reasonable Doubt, Jay-Z's first album. He's the one who introduced me to Jay-Z before he came out. During the Boys Men days, I used to go to the studio sessions when Jay was doing Reasonable Doubt in New York. And me and Ski, we kept in touch from 89 up until this point. I talked to him last week.
whoa, come on now. Hold on. Bring us back. We got to go back through this now. Because we in reasonable doubt land now.
Yes.
All right. Because I mean we're getting there. So we're gonna touch on Ski Beats now. Now, how does this friendship come about? I mean, you said 89.
Yeah, 89. I was in an R&B group called So Suave here in Newport News. And
Okay.
At that time, Daryl Sloan and Renard Pringle were managing us. And they struck a deal with this company down in Greensboro, North Carolina called Payroll Records. Ski Beats group at the time called the Busy Boys and another rapper were signed to that local label. And we used to do shows down there with them and form that relationship.
Now just hold on. Let me hold on now. Now when we talk about Daryl Sloan and Renard Pringle, can you tell me who these two guys are? Who's managing you at this time?
Yeah, Daryl Sloan currently now manages Knots through Raw Concept and Teamster Entertainment. And Renard Pringle, he also was a manager. I don't know what else. Well, one thing I can say, I'm mad at Renard because he knew I was a Michael Jackson fan, but he got one of my boys, Fanatic, able to work with Michael Jackson. And and Fanatic used to be in the same group as Ski, which is crazy. Everything's like 6 degrees of separation. It's everybody knows something about somebody, or indirectly or directly. That's the reason why I don't piss nobody off, because you never know who you're going to meet. But yeah, Renard Pringle was another manager at the time with us. I talked to him a couple of weeks ago. We talk about the Jackson 5 a lot still.
That's dope. So you got these two guys. Shout out to Daryl and Mr. Pringle, right?
Yeah.
I actually got to work with him on a project a few years back. So I mean, that's tough right there, man. You got two powerhouses and you got two guys who are very humble. This is like, now I'm thinking about these people. Everybody in this group, these are humble groups of people.
Yeah.
These are humble groups.
Now, Daryl, one thing, the reason why me and Daryl, we kept in touch for the longest time, Daryl was always the stand-up guy without being macho about it. But he's one of those type of people, if he feels like it's not the right thing to do, he'll tell you. You know what I mean? I never forget this, and he'll probably kill me for telling the story. When I'm young, I'm with my girlfriend, you know, we're in Norfolk, and I went to his house. And said, yo, D, I got this girl. You know what I mean? I need some money for a hotel. He said, I can't give you no money for that. I said, why? Why not? I said, man, I got this girl, blah, blah, this, that. He said, I can't give you no money for that. And he told me years later the reason why. He didn't tell me why then. He said, look, you guys were doing something good. I didn't want you going out here getting somebody pregnant that you didn't know, and I was responsible for it.
Daryl Slow. Shout out to Daryl Slow.
Yeah,
Man.
good dude.
That's dope. So that's how you connected with Ski Beats.
Yeah, through the North Carolina Connect.
Okay. So now you're signed to Boys to Men, and you're connecting with Ski Beats as he's doing Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah, that's when I could connect back. Somebody, a mutual friend mentioned his name. I said, "Yo, I know him from back in 88, 89." He was working on these. This was in 95 when I hooked back up with him. 95.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was
Man.
working on Reasonable Doubt at that time. I went to the session when he was doing Politics as Usual.
Shout out to Chris Huns. He says Dead Presidents.
Yes, he did that too.
Man, so sometimes I'm just I got to stop because it's just going too quick for me. You got to savor these. You got to savor some of these conversations. So sometimes I just kind of railroad off for a second so I could get my life together. So you go in there, Politics as Usual.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
And so tell me about that session.
I didn't know what in the world was going on, to be real with you, because I had checked out of hip hop by that time. I was deeply into R&B and pop.
Okay.
And so it was to the point to where I wouldn't know who would be the next guy in hip hop. I was still, going crazy over Rakim in '95. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I'm, hanging out with Ski. He introduced me to Kane, Jimmy Hinchman, all these people, blah, blah, blah. We going from studio to studio, and then we go to D&D Studio, which is the famous studio that a lot of people recorded out of. Went there, and he was going to
D&D.
Yeah.
Shout out to D&D.
Yeah, D&D. A lot of people don't know about. That's the only place that I know that you can buy blunts out of the vending machine.
Man, I'll tell you. Shout out to Blake. Thank you, Blake, for coming in the chat. Man, we did my cousin's album at D&D. My cousin was signed to D&D.
Oh wow!
So I know about D&D. Easy. I got to sit next to Easy Mo Better. Matter of fact, I was going into the bathroom, and DJ Tony Touch was coming out the bathroom in D&D.
Wow.
Tony Touch. I'm looking like Toka.
Yeah.
But the vending machine was there.
Yes. That is one way in, one way out. Broken pool sticks.
Yep.
And that experience changed me too, because I always pay attention to what's going on. Because even though I was pop R&B, I wanted to mix what they were doing in New York along with pop and R&B to make the drums harder, keep them harder. I mean, Teddy Riley had already fused together that, but I wanted the underground feeling to pop and R&B. So I got the school of both of those worlds: pop from Boys to Men, and pop and R&B from Boys to Men, and then Ski Beats, all the hip hop stuff.
Oh man, that's crazy. So now in that time you met Jay-Z.
Yeah, I only met him one time. Yeah.
Okay, so you met him, but meanwhile your man is doing Reasonable Doubt.
Yeah, it was like it was nothing. It was like it was nothing. It was like nothing, because you got to think, he met Jay in North Carolina when Jay and Dame came down there, and Ski was in this group called Original Flavor, and they had this song "Can I Get Open," and Jay jumped on that record.
Okay.
And he did a little bit of something, and DJ Clark Kent brought Ski, or told Ski to come up to New York, and that's how they ended up working together. I didn't know who Jay was or what a Jay-Z was and all that stuff.
Right. It just really goes to show how much grinding a musician does.
Yeah.
Like you're grinding, man. You're grinding. And a lot of musicians know each other. It's not far-fetched that you would run into Jay-Z or anybody else. I mean, just once people are attracted to that music, man, You got to be where the music is at.
100%. And my advice to give everybody who's trying to get into the life, understand this: the industry is about as small as your bedroom. Everybody knows everybody. And it'll probably take them a while to be like, I heard that name before, blah blah blah. And sometimes he'll bring up a negative vibe in somebody, and he'll bring up a positive. I try to steer towards the positive vibe if somebody brings up my name. You know what I mean?
Right,
I
right.
So people, if you out there, you try to make contacts and try to build relationships, the best way to do it is not be arrogant. Be confident, but not arrogant. Understand that your story is going to get told by somebody else in their own way, and if you're not shown in a good light, you're done.
Yeah, yeah. Be humble.
Yep.
You heard it. You heard it here first. Be humble.
Yep.
Sit down and be humble.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We're gonna run into another commercial break. When we get back, we're gonna hear about Tim Byrd and his friendship with Knots, and working with Knots, working with other artists, and we're gonna get into it. Check it out, y'all. This is the 50-inch Insignia Smart TV.
Nice.
Check this out, guys. This is the 55-inch Insignia Smart TV. Okay, comes with a remote, of course, and you can access Netflix, Hulu, any app that you use for streaming. You can access it very easily here, and you can mount it up. As you see, we got it mounted, and we're good to go on this thing. This is definitely a treat. Check it out. All right, y'all. That's the 50-inch smart TV, and this is the PDD Kiss screen protector. This bad boy, you see that right there? You can see the screen. Tilt the screen. Now you don't. All right, this gives you that privacy. This gives you that privacy. Some of y'all jokers need this type of privacy because you texting people you ain't got no business texting while you in the house. You know what I'm saying? So this is, I guess, this for you, huh? Shoot, you need to stop that.
That's hilarious.
Cut it out.
That's hilarious.
My commercials be off the chain, huh? Start telling jokers, try to tell these jokers the real.
Now you really sound good, yo.
Man, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Sure, you know why them jokers be trying to get that screen.
Yeah. Bringing it back right now.
Somebody ordering that joint right now.
Yep.
Keep getting caught on Instagram. Get off that Instagram, man. My mom said, I'm back. She must have came back. I thought her bedtime is like 8 o'clock. I don't know what she's doing up. She had surgery, eye surgery today. So I hope she's feeling good, feeling well.
Oh, okay.
We here for you, mama. Anything you need, I'll come over there right now. You know. All right, so we're back with my man Tim Byrd. You can check him out. Check his website out at timbyrdmusic.com. Also his social media at timbyrdmusic. You can reach him there as well. If you need them private music lessons, you want to get your beats like mine's. Whoo, man, I made some fire the other day, Tim.
Oh,
man, I had some singing in the background. I had some drums going, man. That joint sounded like an opera with bass on it. I was like, yo, this is going on the album. I'm putting this on a mixtape or something, boy.
That's what's up.
Every time I need to find a link for Splice, man, so we can get them a shout out, man. Between Splice and E-Machine, if any of your representatives is watching it, you've seen it in the carousel. If you're watching it, you know what to do. TimByrdMusic.com. Shoot him an email. Shoot me an email. My email scrolling on the bottom. All right.
Spice is good though.
Yeah.
Spice, yeah. I use Spice, and I advise everybody who's like stuck on ideas, go through it, grab them sounds, chop them up, see what you can do.
Yeah. 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 I definitely use Splice, man. I told Chris to jump on that Splice, Chris. Let's
Yeah,
stop playing.
yeah. Especially since he knows how to chop now, he can reverse some of them loops.
Oh man, that's the move right there.
Yep.
Yeah, that's how you get it done, man. I'm telling you, that's how you get it done. So if y'all looking to make some beats, man, shout out to Tim Byrd. Get in his inbox.
Yeah, get in the inbox. I'm still setting things up, but still hit me up.
Hit him up. Hit him up. He'll get you on a schedule. We got a few more things. You got a minute, Chris? Tim?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. I ain't, I'm trying to get all I can get, man.
Ask me anything.
Trying to keep you up here. Because I do have a few more things. Now I did want to know about knots. Just you working with knots or knowing knots, or how does that come to pass? And those who don't know knots, Google them.
Yes.
NOTTZ.
Yes.
NOTTZ. Knots. How do you and knots connect? I'll just let you tell it because I'm guessing, but I'm not sure. But go. I'm gonna let you tell it.
What's your guess?
My guess is through Daryl Sloan.
Correct.
That's my guess. Okay.
Now, that was during when Daryl and Renard were managing us, my singing group that I was in, and we used to rehearse at Knott's mom's house when Knott's was a little kid. He wasn't even making beats. We were dealing with his brother Fred. So I only knew Knott's.
Is this DJ Fred?
DJ Fred, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So we used to rehearse in his garage. And Knott's was a little kid. I only knew him as Dominique at the time. But we did our shows, blah blah blah, this, that, and the other. And so fast forward to, I think it was while we were working with Boys and Men and we had moved back home. No, it wasn't. Anyway, Daryl came to me. He said, Tim, he said, Dominique's starting to make some beats, and he's getting really good at it. He said, one thing I want you to teach him is how to play bass lines on songs. And I was like, word? I said, well, I can't teach him how to play a bass line, but, I can give him some bass sounds and see if he can play, because it sounds like he has an ear for it when he filters out his samples. He said, all right. So I gave him a bunch of bass sounds, and not thinking of it, he used some of them bass sounds in a lot of stuff that he had out early on with Busta and all that, because everybody used to ask me when they knew that I knew Knots. It's like, yo, can you ask him where he got his bass sounds, how he get that, where he get that, and the other? I said, oh, yeah. I said, yeah, I'll ask him. I said, no, Knots, everybody keep asking me, where you get your sound? He said, you. I said, word? You still
Those are the joints I left you?
Yeah. That was early on, and he was still using the dance.
Man, that's indirectly responsible for Busta Rhymes in that.
Yeah, but I can't take that. That dude, I can't take that. I really can't take that.
Yeah, jokers be like,
yeah. I had to step back and be like, yo, I had to start studying him. I was like, yo, this kid, I'm telling you, this kid came from not making beats to making beats with just samples, to chopping up samples, to playing his own bass lines and sampling live instruments and re-chopping them up. I was like,
yeah. That's so you watched the transition of Knots from a young gunner to making some of the firest beats we've heard in hip hop ever.
100%. I mean, and then there was a point when he put together DMP, which for those of y'all who are not from here, local hip hop group, those I don't know what. When he put them together, they used to come to our crib here in Newport News and record. We were like the first studio that they
Okay.
recorded. Yeah,
Okay.
Big Shot will tell you that. He'll tell you that to this day.
Mm, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. We digging in the crates right now. I feel like we digging in the crates, boy. You
Yeah.
can only get this. You can only get this on the Light Club, y'all. This is exclusive right here. This is exclusive. Exclusive. We're digging deep. We're going into the crates. I mean, we went from not Ski Beats, Timberland, Aaliyah. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Boys to men. We got. I mean, the list. Motown. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it just go. This has been exciting for me. I love doing this, man, because I gotta have a thing. I gotta have you back on, um, because I seen on Drink Champs they give people their flowers,
Oh
and
yeah.
I've been like, yo, I gotta come up with a flower or something. We gotta do something. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Because you continue to give back, and help musically. Um, and I believe that's why you still have people like Chris is still in the chat. Me wanting to interview you, you got and I don't know all the others. I'm still actually connected with some of the students from the class that
oh,
are still
wow.
making beats, and so
Same here. Some of them.
yeah, I mean that's important stuff, man.
Yeah.
Because everybody needs a helping hand, especially when it comes to production. It's
Yeah.
not an easy thing, and you're kind of like a mad scientist in the lab. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly
So
what it is.
I mean, just dope. Um, Songwriter though,
Right.
you're a songwriter. So um, how did that play a part in everything that you're doing? I mean, you signed to Boys to Men, you signed to Motown,
Mhm.
all these different things. How does this play a role? Just the music writing. You're a producer. We know you're making the sound, but how does you being a songwriter come into play in all these different things?
Well, I was a songwriter first before I started making music. Um,
Okay.
yeah, so I was songwriter. I was always
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah.
Ah,
I wasn't really that great at making beats until the Motown days. It started getting better, and I got tired of other producers not getting across what I've been trying to get across. So I forced myself to learn how to do it. But I was always a penman, always
mm,
a songwriter, and I would write for the group that I was working with. Co-wrote with Dave Hollister. Co-wrote with just a lot of
oh,
melodies and
and
stuff
you
like
can't
that.
be saying stuff like this and just keep rolling like.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but,
Dave Hollister. Yep.
but how did this come up? How did that come about? And
With
y'all let me know if y'all know who Dave Hollister is in the chat, please.
Dave
Uh,
Hollister formerly from Blackstreet through Leon Silvers, who was working with Teddy Riley at the time. Now Leon
oh,
Silvers is a legend. Leon
mm,
Silvers was the biggest producer during the late 70s and 80s. He's the one who did And the Beat Goes On for the Whispers. He did
okay,
Second Time Around for Shalimar, produced all their stuff. He did Misdemeanor, that sample that Dr. Dre sample for DLC. It's getting funky, it's getting funky. That's
okay,
from
okay.
Leon Silvers. That's his bass line, all that. And so I learned a lot of stuff from him.
Wow.
And at that time, Blackstreet had just finished their first album, Before I Let You Go, this, that, and the other. And then I think Dave and somebody else left the group. And Dave ended up moving here in Newport News at Kiln Creek. So he was living there, and somebody told him about me, and he used to come by the house all the time.
Man,
Yeah,
Chris Hunter says definitely know about Dave Hollister.
yeah.
That's I mean, that's crazy, man.
He's one of the best artists I've ever worked with. Dude was a phenomenon. I, actually, any like vocalist that I was
Yeah.
working with after working with him, they had to come better or at the same level, nothing less than that. That was an experience for me.
Well, what made him so unique to you?
He was just a one and done, and he knew how to do it. He would get in there and he would just sing the ideas, blah blah blah. We'll write something together, blah blah. He would record it, get it down real quick, and
Wow.
usually, because I have what they call a perfect pitch. I can hear when somebody's slightly off, a tad bit, where a lot of people can't hear it, and I
Right.
would have somebody redo it, do it until it's right, and I can explain to them why they're off. Dave was never off key. He was like a walking keyboard to me. Boys
Wow.
Men was the same way.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. So I mean, just when you get into the groove like that, it just really makes it makes the workflow so much easier.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you can create at the pace that you need to,
Yeah.
or that you want to, that help you expand your ideas. I mean, that's incredible right there.
Yeah, I got
And
some stuff with me and Dave on that, and I gotta transfer that stuff over. But it was one song that was on his album. He did a remake of "I Keep Forgetting" by Michael McDonald. I keep forgetting, not in love anymore. The same sample
yeah, 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 yeah.
from Regulate, yeah. But he wanted to redo it. He wanted me to replay it, slow it down, and make it more like R&B type joints. And so I did it. He came over, he sang it, blah blah blah, this that and the other. He said, "Yo, this is gonna be on my album," and I hadn't heard from him after that for like months and months. It ended up on his album, but he got a live band to replay what I created and use some of the inflections that I came up with, but he never gave me credit for it. But I think he was at that time he was going through some stuff with the lady, so I'm not tripping on that. But
Yeah.
if you hear that version, I keep forgetting on his I think it's Chicago '85 album. I'm not sure. That's my arrangements that he used.
Yeah, we need to get that right, Dave.
Yeah.
We need to get that right. We need to redo that one, and we need to get it right. We need
Yeah,
to.
well, shout out to Dave. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure it wasn't his fault because Dave wasn't. He was a
Well,
good.
you get a lot of labels, and you gotta do what you gotta do. He could have lost the record or something, and tried to I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
he could have lost the record, but you got to think. Another reason why I'm not really tripping is because it's not my song. It's
yeah,
already a song. I just did my version of it.
of it. Right,
So
right.
yeah, what am I gonna do? Sit up here and just sue him for somebody else's song? Yeah, I'd rather have the friendship.
Oh, and I think that's a good thing to touch on there. Um, the friendship,
Yeah,
because a lot of people don't put that first in. I mean, we're not in just talk about music, but business period. I mean,
yeah,
that's like secondary. Is that something that you've always done?
yeah. By accident for some reason, it just always happened.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, it always happens. So yeah, pretty much. I mean, some people you just really just can't friend. You just got to be business with it. You know what I mean? But there's
right,
sometimes, but you keep that friendly relationship. So where something goes wrong, they can easily come to you and be like, "Hey, I don't like the way this went," and be like, "You know what? You're fair. That makes sense. Let's go ahead and fix it."
right. So in the music industry, are you kind of like bobbing and weaving through this stuff and seeing it, and it's
You talking about the vultures?
yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. But back in '90, a lot of stuff happened in '95, '96. I bought the book 48 Laws of Power because I started to see how people were moving in the music industry. And one thing I can say, I know entertainment is great. The entertainment industry is the devil's playground, hands down. I'm not gonna say
Mm,
the devil's playground where anything goes. You can get away with anything, blah blah blah. If you and people, it's easy for people to lose their souls because they're searching for something outside of them without instead of searching within themselves and that they're all right. The music
right.
industry and the movie industry is the devil's playground, so anything goes. There's no rules. So I started to see that. So I had
Yeah.
to find a way to protect myself from that without letting them know I'm protecting myself from them.
Mm, mm. Yeah, that's a rough field, man. It definitely can leave a bad taste in your mouth. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. If you let it, you can still maneuver. You just got to have self. You just have you really have to have a strong foundation spiritually and with yourself. You have to have that in order for you to move forward, because a lot of people will fall for anything just because it's everybody else is doing it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm, that's tough stuff right there.
Yeah.
Y'all getting knowledge. We dropping knowledge in here. Chris Hunt says good advice. Dang, I forgot to check my Facebook chat. My bad, y'all. Um, yeah, Chris Hunt says great, good advice, and it
No
really
doubt.
is. It really is. You got to keep your head on a swivel. Is that what you're saying to him?
Yeah, 100%. And understand that it exists. You don't have to shy away from it because I don't want to do that, because if you love to do it, do what you love to do. Just understand that negative energies exist. Recognize them and move away from it, even if it takes you longer to get there.
Right, right, right. No, that's dope, man. Because that, I mean, that's what it is, and you want to try to, like you said, preserve the relationships that you can.
Yeah,
Then and again, you want to be sensible.
yeah,
I don't own that song. It's not my song. He had an idea. I helped him with the idea.
yeah.
You want to be sensible, because a situation you start ego tripping, boy. You, you
Yeah,
know,
you start getting mad for no reason, because during that time period, because there was another guy that knew what was going on, so he tried to put in my ear that Dave was trying to get over on me, because
yeah,
there was money involved. And at the time, Dave Hauser was signed with Def Squad, the Eric Sermon in them, when they were starting the R&B sector of that label.
really,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what was going on with that. Yeah, I was supposed to get a certain amount. It didn't happen. I wasn't tripping, but this other guy who knew me and Dave, but knew Dave better, was coming to me saying, "Yo, Dave, he trying to son you, he trying to do this, that, and the other." And I'm like, I had to keep him out of my ear, regardless if he was right or not. I just couldn't let it feed me, because it would just feed envy and hate in me, and I don't like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's you. Sometimes it's better to walk away.
Yeah, 100%, bro.
Walk away. Pride is something else, man. Pride is something else. Everybody thinks pride is a great thing. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't. Chris Hunt says, I feel like everything is a practice exercise in music.
100%. It's life. That's what it's called. It's still life.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if y'all are just joining us on Amazon, be sure to smash that follow button. Be sure to smash that follow, subscribe. Shout out to our people on Facebook. We see the likes. Shout out to everybody on YouTube and the YouTube world. If y'all are joining us, hit that follow. Go ahead and check out Tim Byrd. We got his music in the carousel. Please go through the carousel, check that out. And we are cooking. This is the Light Club, y'all. This is the
The
Light
light
Club.
club.
We are in the building, man. I was excited about you coming through, bro. I was telling my wife, I was like, "Hey, we kicking off, because you're really the first guest on the show. Like,
Really?
you're the first guest that we had. Now, I had my mama come on and talk about some products for our Amazon Live, because she knew about some stuff that I didn't know. So I was like, Mama, come on and just explain to the people for me.
That's
Just came on.
nice.
But you're my first official guest. And I was telling my wife, I was like, man, do you know who we have coming on for the first guest? When you have Tim Byrd on for the first guest, it's like, can't nobody really say no to me after that.
That's what's up.
And when I send them the show, and we talking about Jay-Z, this brother was in here with Jay-Z, Reasonable Doubt,
Yeah.
Doing his thing at Motown. My mama, this is for everybody. We just covered a whole bunch of genres and different people who like different music. I mean, this is it right here, man.
Yeah.
This is it. So I mean, I've been having a good time. We're gonna try to hold on to you just for a few more.
No, you good. No, I
Um,
appreciate you having me on though.
oh man, thank you for coming through. This has been awesome. If y'all have questions, if y'all we'll open it up for a bit of Q&A. So if you have any questions, maybe you want to be in the music industry, maybe you're looking to be a producer, maybe you have aspirations to act or whatever. You can go ahead and ask. Tim Byrd is in the chat. He'll let you know. I'll be able to relay that message to him. And I did just want to touch on one more thing, Tim. And I'm just, if you see me looking around, it's because I got all these different monitors for all these the different chats and everything that's happening. So we were talking about you doing music for different TV shows,
Right.
and one thing we see consistent with you is every time you're either at a label or you're doing a I mean, even when you were at Sprint to whatever you were doing, you were using all the resources around you to get, because I feel like this is an important part. Even if you're not doing music, if you're just going to be a plumber, you
Right.
need to understand this right here, because you see a pattern in successful people of people who do what they love for a living, because most of the time when you got to do what you love for a living, it's going to take for you to hustle at some point.
Yep.
And like I was saying, you were using all the resources around you. How important is that, even in today, to be able to use the resources around you and hustle and do all these different things? How important is this?
Very important. It's also very important to not stop growing and not stop learning.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, because for example,
Message.
it's the truth. It's the truth. It's very important. Yeah, a lot of people think that they've already arrived. I don't think you're done until you're in the grave.
Oh, now.
You know what I mean? I think that you can always learn from anybody, even people who come behind you. You can always learn from them. I can learn from something that you did, even though you were considered a student in my class. You might come up with a way to do something. Be like, "Yo, tell me, you tried this way." Be like, "Huh? I ain't tried. Let me try it." You know what I mean? It's all about growing.
Mm.
You never stop growing. You never stop learning. That's why early in the conversation you asked, "What did I think about today's music?" Not mad at it. Is it something that's like in my playlist every single day? Now, because sometimes I really don't have the time to sit and listen to a bunch of playlists because I'm steady working, unless I'm doing research.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, that's tough stuff right there, man. That is tough stuff. Because teaching an old dog new tricks. That's
Yeah.
what I've always said I wanted to be able to do. I've always wanted to be in that. My kids teach me. I mean, you could be. I got a 2-year-old, and I'm always looking and watching and seeing what I can learn
Yeah.
about her. How they deal with each other. All that stuff, I
Yeah.
think is really important to life, because it's not all about being the dopest at something.
No.
It's about how we love our families, how we care for one another, love each other. All that stuff is important. That's why I like what you said about, number one, being sensible about stuff, so you're not just getting upset at nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like you're taking the ego out of the picture, and now you can deal with people with a level head.
100%. Another thing too, one thing that struck me really good is Kim Fields, which I got a story about Kim Fields too. That's another story. That's offline. Nothing negative or nothing like that.
Okay,
But
all right. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
but Kim Fields said this on her I think it was on the Breakfast Club. they asked her sort of like the same question. They asked her, does she get upset whenever things don't turn out? She says she learned how to manage her expectations. Think about that. Manage your expectations. If you're expecting something to go a certain way because you work so hard to get it, and you're expecting it, and you get let down, that's a huge blow. But if you manage the ahead of time, you'd be like, you know what, it may not work out. If it doesn't, I'll move on to something else. If it does, kudos. That's what I mean. But that's what she meant by manage. I even got it on my board right now. My sister saw it yesterday. She said, I love that. Did you come up with that? No, it's Ken Phillips. Manage your expectations.
Wow, that's tough. Manage your
You won't be
expectations.
disappointed every time. Yep.
Don't-
That's even with life. That's even with relationships. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people get into wrong relationships because they expect a certain thing. No, you're getting in a relationship with somebody who's raised different than you. You're coming together as one to cohabitate and be able to share what the experiences with each other. You become one to create your new family. So don't expect that person to be exactly what you put together in your mind.
Right, what you want them to be. They got to be what you want them to be.
Yeah.
And you can't be content with what you got. They breathing,
Yep.
eating, walking around. And you constantly need my heart. Bible says the heart is never satisfied.
Yep.
You got to be wary, man. You got to be wary of yourself.
Yeah, you do. You really do, because you're your own worst enemy. Real talk.
Yeah. No, that's tough stuff. That's tough stuff. Y'all getting that? Are y'all getting that? We in here, y'all. We in here. We're doing it big. We got Tim Byrd in the building. All right. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Amazon, if you're just coming through Amazon, hit that like button, hit that follow button, hit them stars, star it up. That's right. Hook it up. Hook it up. We see you, Chris Huns. Chris Huns still in the building, hanging out.
Chris, man, miss you, bro.
He'll be on Chris will be on the show. We're gonna be talking about his military entertainment, military minds, entertainment. So Chris will be coming on here. So, I'm just trying to get all my peoples up here, man. I appreciate y'all for supporting me, because I've been doing the streaming for a while, but I said, man, I want to do something different up here. Something that I like, my wife likes showing products. She likes to tell shout out to the ladies in the building. She likes to tell the ladies, what's hot and what's not.
That's dope.
And I'm like, man, but what can I do? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, well, I like journalism, and I'm like a junior journalist, and I said, well, why don't you just start interviewing successful people, people who are good people that you want their story to be heard and you want people to know about them. And I'm like, man, we got to do Step Into the Light podcast. Welcome to the Light Club, and start to build this thing up. And this is where it came from, man. And I was like, man, I would love to get Tim Byrd, boy, because I know he got some stories in the cut. I know he got some stuff in the cut. So right now I'm trying to go in the cut. Tim, can you give me a story? Can you give me something that we may have not touched on?
But I don't know. Some of the stories that it'll expose some people. I'm not into doing that.
But
I'm not into that.
I don't need you to explain.
Now, one thing about back to the Ken Phillips thing. The Ken Phillips thing, I knew when I was a kid, I said, I'm going to marry her one day. And the reason why I said that, because she was a Taurus and I'm a Taurus. And I finally got a chance to meet Kim Phillips. I got a chance to go to her house. We went bowling together. You look on my Facebook page, you'll see a picture of me with my arm around Kim and the group I'm working with, and her little sister is there too. And Drew Carey took that picture. It was a bowling alley called Jerry's Deli in LA. this Jewish type of restaurant, but it has a bowling alley in the back. So I had my chance to meet Kim Fields. Didn't get a chance to marry her, but I was probably too immature for her anyway.
hold on, man. We can't just be running through. Do y'all know who Kim Fields is?
Oh yeah, that's right. Kim, a lot of people who probably don't know.
Yeah,
Tootie.
can you just tell them? Can you just tell them who Kim Fields is?
Kim Fields. If you guys ever heard of Facts of Life, she played Tootie.
Come on,
Tootie.
That's
and
all you got
if
to say is
Living
Tootie.
Single, Regine.
That's right. That's
Yep.
right.
Now she's got a new show on Netflix called it's with Mike Epps. What's the name of the show? Upshaw's The Upshaw.
Yep.
Something
Yep.
like that. Yeah.
Kim Fields.
And when I met her, she was I knew for a fact that I was never going to have a chance for her because she was more mature anyway, and she wasn't for that youth rah-rah. And I think she's only like a year or two older than me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can tell she had that grown spirit to where I've seen this stupid stuff before in my life, been in this industry. And a lot of people don't know that her mother is Chip Fields, who played Janet Jackson's mother on Good Times, who burnt Penny with the iron.
Oh,
Yeah.
You got to be kidding me.
Yeah, she's a Chip Fields is a well-known black acting coach. A lot of these people, a lot of these black actors, even some white actors and actresses that came through is because of Chip Fields.
Wow.
Some because of Kim too.
Kim Fields bowling with bowling with Kim Fields.
Yeah. Well, I got a picture on my Facebook. Yep.
Man, I gotta check that out.
Yeah.
I gotta check that out. I wish I would have queued it up, right?
I know. Hold on. Let me see if I can put it up. Nah, it's gonna be too small to see.
I would because you know what? People don't really know. You say a name and then they're like Kim Fields, but
right.
Go ahead and Google it. Go ahead and Google her, Kim Fields. But if you can pull it up, man, we're gonna pull it up just so people can see what we're talking.
Hold on, let's see if I can find it.
Sometimes getting that visual kind of bring it full circle for you, especially if you've been watching the podcast and you've been on the stream. You're kind of like, who? Come on, now, tell me who. Could you help me out?
Yeah, and I'm usually good at explaining who people are because I don't expect. That's another thing I don't do. I don't expect people to know. So, that was my loss on that one. But yeah, Kim Fields is Tootie from Facts of Life. Regime, if you watch Living Single, which is one of the funniest shows out there. And Queen Latifah was my second manager in the music industry through Flavor Unit.
Hold on, let's go. Say that again.
Queen Latifah was my second manager in the music industry through Flavor Unit after Michael Bivins.
So you're managed by Daryl Sloan.
Daryl Sloan and Renard first. Then this other group, Khalil, this other management company. After we left them, it was Khalil and they were Finesse Management. Then Michael Bivins through Biv 10 Entertainment. Then after that, it was after that we didn't have management. We were just strictly with Boys and Men. During that time when Boys and Men was losing their label, I was sending out beats to get work, and it happened to be Flavor Unit, and and they were interested in the white group I was working with, and so they stepped on Queen Latifah and Shakim Compere. They started managing. I got a picture of me with in the group with her too as well. You can't see this. Hold on. This is the. Hold on.
Bring it down. Bring it down.
Trying to bring it back. Hold on.
I think bring it closer. Bring it closer.
I almost had it.
There it is.
Can you see it?
Going in and out, but yeah, we can see Kim Fields right there. She got black on or something?
Yeah, that's me with my arm around her with the black hat on.
Yep.
Yeah, I should give a bit of. There we go. Hold on, I was at it. Anyway, but yeah.
Wow. Wow. So then you go over to Flavor Unit with Queen Latifah.
This is when we first get with Black Round. With
Okay.
Black Round,
Okay.
with Aaliyah and them, the Black Round. They held on to us for a little bit. Things didn't work out, but we stayed with Black Round, and we didn't have management after that.
Now, did you have did you get to speak with the Queen of Latifah? Did you get
Yeah,
to?
I got a picture with her. Actually, she looked like my ex-wife, and I told her that one time. She said, "Oh, you got you a Khadijah, huh?" You know what I mean? I had just gotten married at the time. But yeah, Queen, yeah, talk to her often.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope. How was that? How was that management?
It
Was
was
that when you guys were on the West Coast?
no, that was when we were living in New York. That was around about the same time I was working with Aaliyah. I was living in New York at the time, and
Okay.
yeah, we were on the East Coast. It was really short. It was like probably like a year with those situations because Shakim, who is Queen Latifah's manager, I mean partner in everything, even to this day, uh, he's the one who indirectly got us the deal with Blackground, which he really didn't. I'm the one who really got it through Chad Elliott, one of my friends, Chad Elliott. He's the one who couldn't make the meeting and asked Shakim to stand in on his behalf to get the deal going, and he took over. Blah blah blah. But
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
Well, you got it popping.
I got a popping from sending in that the music that I did for them, and they were interested in the group because they thought it was a black group. And I was like,
Right.
nah,
Right.
nah, they white. That was the same white dudes that's in Motown Philly. They say, word, all right. And Barry Hankerson was looking for another because at this time Backstreet hadn't came out yet. No,
Okay.
yes he did. Yes he did. Yes he did. He was looking for another. He was looking for that kind of money kind of group. That's what Barry, Aaliyah's
Right.
uncle, was looking for.
Mm. Mm. Man, so y'all was rolling. Y'all were rolling.
Yeah, we were rolling, and like I said, every single situation, it was always the changing of the guards. This situation with Blackground, it was because Aaliyah passed away. That was the only reason why everything stopped with them.
And let's just talk about that for a minute. And you don't have to if you don't want to. I don't
No,
know.
it's all good. It's all good. No negative stuff. Rest in peace, Aaliyah.
Um, I, I just kind of want to know when that happened. What was the? I mean, we know what but what was the vibe? What was happening over there with that label? I mean, Aaliyah passes, and I mean, just what happened through that transition? Because you guys like lost your deal,
Yeah,
or the label just folded. What happened? Everything kind of. How did that happen? How did that work out?
well, I mean, at the time, we all had two-way pages. Remember those Skywriter two-way pages?
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
we all had each other's number. I even had Aaliyah and Timbaland's number in my two-way joint. And so we all get a mass text saying that we just heard that Leah and R. Kelly passed away in a plane crash, or their plane crashed. We was like, R. Kelly, we know she ain't been dealing with him at all. So we thought it was just somebody just spamming us. And then they cleared it up and said, no, we just found out Aaliyah's plane went down because we saw her the night before she left to do the video. Because she did one video in New York, which was More Than a Woman, and she ended up doing the Rock the Boat down in the islands. And so the reason why they did that was because they couldn't decide which was going to be the second single off of her next album. Was it Rock the Boat or More Than a Woman? Half of the label wanted More Than Woman. We wanted Rock the Boat. So they said, forget it, let's do two videos. But once we got that information and it was confirmed, it was like a shock and a standstill. We didn't know what was going to happen after that. We went to the funeral in New York, from LA to New York, went to the funeral.
So y'all seen her the day before she passed?
The day before she left out. I don't know. I don't remember how many days she was out.
Okay. Oh yeah, because she did shoot the video.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So y'all just seen her.
Yeah.
Ah.
And actually, she was supposed to come back and do one of the songs that was penned by me, one of the guys in the group Southern Impact, and Black from Player that wrote. Because Static, because remember the group Player? Cheers to You.
Yep.
Cheers to, because Static Major is the one who wrote majority of her hits, and
Okay.
yeah, are you that somebody? We need a resolution, all that stuff. Wrote all that.
Yeah.
So Black was also writing a song with me and my boy Todd, and Aaliyah was supposed to come in on the second verse, and she was going to come back and do that, and next thing you know, didn't happen.
Man.
I still got that song too, but she's not on it. I think I got the song that she was supposed to be on, but
rest in peace.
Yeah, went through that, and we didn't know what was going on. We didn't get no more word because we're still out in LA. We're in our apartments in LA. So the next thing that happens is 9/11 because it was so close to 9/11, so we couldn't get out of LA. So we did, it was just a matter of once we were able to clear to leave, come back to Virginia so Barry and them can sort out what to do next. They told us they were going to bring us back out there. Next thing you know, numbers started changing. Nobody heard from anybody else. R. Kelly's tape comes out, all this stuff, and just it never came back.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's your? I don't know if we're veering off, but I'm sure. What's your take on the R. Kelly situation? I mean, I guess we don't have to say allegedly anymore, right?
No, not anymore. And it was crazy since I was managed by, well, not managed, but my career was handled during that time by his manager, Barry Hankerson, because a lot of people don't know that Barry Hankerson is one of the guys that discovered R. Kelly. His Cash Money cow was R. Kelly.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So evidently they must have known what was going on. We didn't. I remember one time Barry had a meeting with us and we didn't know what was going on. And he said, look, I just want to let you guys know that there's going to be bad stuff. No, he said Robert's leaving the company. I just said, because everybody's calling Robert. I didn't know who Robert was. Robert's leaving the company.
Right.
He said he doesn't need us anymore because he wasn't signed, but he was signed a job. But he said that there's going to be bad stuff said in the press about me. And there's also going to be bad stuff said in the press about him, especially with him messing with these little girls. We didn't know anything about that. We're thinking just Aaliyah.
He said this in the meeting?
He said this. He came to our hotel room on the Hyatt on Sunset. We had a room up there. We were this Grammy night. We were about to go to the Grammy party. And he tells us this. Barry Hankerson tells us this, especially with him messing with these little girls. And like I said, we didn't know what was going on. We knew about the Aaliyah situation, but it was still never confirmed. So we thought he was talking about his niece. They come to find out that tape came out.
Wow.
Yeah.
And this is the same management company?
Well, see, Barry had his management company. Black Round was a label.
So he was kind of dabbling and had this over here and then had this one.
He was direct manager to. He was the sole manager to R. Kelly. That had nothing to do with Black Round. He was the sole manager of whatever management company that he had his name under to manage people. That was him. And because I never met R. Kelly. He never came to the office. So he was something. R. Kelly was signed to Jive Records. But some of the stuff would actually funnel through Black Round. But Barry started Black Round as his own record label and was supposed to be Aaliyah's label for her to run. That's what Black Round was created for.
Oh.
Yeah.
So she is essentially invested in you guys.
In a sense, indirectly, she was still doing her career. Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah. Wow. Man.
Yeah, as far as like what I thought about it, it's It's crazy because I remember this one lady. She told us there's a school for a lot of people that are in the NBA, NFL, and artists and this, that, and the other. There's a school that teaches guys how to deal with what do you call them, girls? Groupies. This, that,
Right,
and the
right.
other. And one of the things that they say in the class is what she told us. She said what they say, because these are former groupies that got over. So what they say is make sure you film every time that you're with somebody, so that way they can't claim rape. So that was the norm, to film you having, sex with somebody.
Right. Yeah.
To make sure, so you got evidence that, hey, they came on to me. From what I understand, that Kelly had a bunch of tapes. He was filming a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Man.
I mean, there's more that I could say, but we'll talk about that offline.
Yeah. All this stuff is public record right here.
Yeah,
Everybody,
yeah.
we man. But that's tough stuff to lose, Aaliyah.
Yeah.
The label and being that close to that situation. That's tough, man. That's tough in the midst of your career and just losing artists. I think when we lose artists, we sometimes you can have that connection with them through their art and stuff like that, and it makes it kind of weird, man. It does. It does.
Yeah, that is true. I never really looked at it that way. It's crazy how you feel like you know that person, you never even met them, and it's through their
Yeah.
art.
Yeah, that's the impact of music. I mean, you as a producer,
Yeah,
you're connecting with people on a different, level
yeah,
than what we may think. Maybe just a little deeper than what we think. I think that's what hip hop is going through right now.
yeah. We're in the disco era of hip hop. Can I use the bathroom right quick?
Yeah. Take your
Hold
time.
on,
We're gonna
my
run a
bad.
commercial break.
All right, good.
I'm gonna run a commercial break.
That's
All
what
right,
it is.
y'all. We got Tim Byrd on here. We are cooking. And I mean, y'all are getting the inside scoop to a lot of this stuff, man. This is real stuff. This is a great interview. I'm having a great time in here, and we got Tim Byrd in the building. We got Tim Byrd in the building. All right, and if you're just now joining us, go ahead and hit that follow. Hit that follow. Come join us. Like and subscribe. Shout out to those on Facebook. Shout out to those on YouTube and Amazon Live. Getting it done, getting it live. All right. So next up, we got the webcam. All right. Webcam, Depth Tech webcam. This is a 4K webcam. This is my backup. This is my backup, baby. And it gives you 4K. All right. It's got the 360 degrees access. All right. It also comes with a tripod. Okay. On the bottom where you can stick it right there. And I just thought this was a pretty good tool. And it comes in different colors. This is normally $79.99. You can now get this for $54. What was it? $54.99. Hold on, it's coming up, guys. I got it coming up. $59.49. All right. This is the Depth 4K. It's got the Sony sensor and autofocus. All right. And it comes with a tripod, like I said. You can use it on your desktop, laptop, pretty much anything that you want to stream on. Right now, we're in the Heezy. We're talking to Tim Byrd. He took a little break. We're gonna pick his brain a little bit more. Shout out, thank you for Tim Byrd coming on. Y'all give it up for Tim Byrd. He's in the building, right? He's in the building. And we wanna run one of his tracks back. And it's in the carousel.
Kinda like love first sight.
featuring L. Harris.
I ain't believe it till
Who
I
would have
had it.
known? Tim Byrd's in the building. We're just doing a little interview with
It
him.
started out as a crush when I thought of us, fantasies filled with lust. But who would have known something special in store to cause my heart for yours? We were special for sure. You laugh, you smile, your hair, your eyes, the swear, you walk, your hip, your thighs.
Come on.
Saw every part of you, a work of art, priceless. I love the flaws in you. You my Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
Picture perfect. I fell in love in the flash, but
Woo.
we took it slow though. We was moving too fast in others' eyes. But me, you know the truth. The time we spent a part of the time we really grew. World, my heart, my angel, my rock, my wife, my friend, my light in the dark, the sun, the storm, the weather, whatever. I always knew you would be my forever.
Who would've known we would be together? I know. Who would've known it would last forever? Who would've known?
Dedicate this to your lady. Let's go.
We would be together. Who would've known it would last forever? Who would've known? You would have my baby. Who would've known? Who would've known it'd be us?
We started out the flame, played the game I won. You ended up with a ring.
Hey.
Ugly confidant became a couple of things. A better man got me feeling blessed for a change. Mother, daughter, wife, many hats that you wear. Put in so many places, but you always were there. Came with baggage just lightweight. Let me carry that for you. Came with my own dirty laundry. You was packing it for me. We the best of the storms. Let it dance in the rain. Stuck by me through the hurt. Help me smile through the pain. You my angel on earth. Everybody you exceeded. Never knew what I wanted. You everything that I needed. Forever plus eternity. That's a slogan for us. You give me everything. Love, loyalty, trust. My beautiful black queen who carries my name. My highest honor to love. You know I'm a king. For me.
Who would've known we would be together? I know. Who would've known it would last forever? Who would've known you would have my baby? Who would've known? Who would've known it'd be us? Who would've known we would be together? Who would've known it would last forever? Who would've known you would have my baby? Who would've known? Who would've known it'd be us?
Who would have known? I love you, Tiffany Harris, the Mrs. Harris, my wife, my friend, my everything, forever plus eternity. Who would have known it'd be us?
Who would have known? Tim Byrd featuring L. Harris. You know it's a love song when you start saying their name. This is official. He ain't playing no games with this one.
Yeah,
all right.
Thanks for playing that. Thanks for playing that.
Oh man, that's a dope record. I like that one. Me and my wife grooving to that up in here.
Yeah, I wanted to go back to that Boyz II Men, LL Cool J time period, 90s. I didn't care if it was current or not. I said, nah, this is missing. Let's do it. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? And with my brother-in-law rhyming on it, just that and the other. Now, don't get it twisted, you guys. It's not me rhyming. I know it says Tim Byrd featuring. He's actually the one that's rhyming. I'm just singing the chorus.
Yeah. No, that record is dope because a lot of time I've been looking for like music that is being created now from another era.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like a 2001 to 2005. That's my meat and potatoes era. You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I remember music. Maybe late 90s. That was like, because when
that was a good time period though.
Yeah, that was great for music. I mean, in the late 90s too, where you got Biggie, Mace, you know what I'm saying? That's what I like to hear, that was my era of music. That's what I'm vibing to. That's what I kind of connect to. But in that record is kind of like keeps you in that place. You know what I'm saying? That for the grown and sexy.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly. It doesn't exist. You know, everybody's afraid to be in love with each other, and
Talk about it.
yeah, everybody's afraid of, and everybody, and I'm guilty of being afraid as well because it's hard for me to open up. You know what I mean? Because sometimes trust issues make you, from past experiences, make you see things different and make you not jump out the window from like when you were younger to where you just jump out the window and your heart just. I haven't felt that in a long time. In order for me to trust it without me feeling like I'm going to fall, you know what I mean? And that's missing. It's missing in life. It's missing in music.
Yeah, yeah. I think these times are definitely different.
Yeah,
It's before it seemed like almost part of everything was I need to find a wife. I need to find that one.
yeah,
And I think we're definitely missing that now.
yeah,
Definitely missing that. We got to get back to the love era.
yeah.
Can we get back to loving one another. Come on now.
Definitely, yeah. Where's the love? I don't. Yeah.
So
everybody's so jaded.
Yeah, blame it on COVID, right? Blame it on COVID. We just try and get back. Give us some time. It was COVID.
Yeah, it was COVID.
Now, when the president announced there's no more COVID, the pandemic is over. When he announced it, it's really over.
Yeah,
because I feel like them jokers was holding on to that thing for a bit too long.
Yeah,
So.
Oh, I love that record. I remember. That's where I remember the record from. I think it's called Lord Jesus that you did.
Was it a hip hop record type feel?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I remember. I remember that. I'm trying to remember the hook, but I remember that because when I linked you to that when I heard that you were Averex. Okay. I didn't know you were that guy.
Oh man, I didn't know I was somebody to be known, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I enjoyed doing music for the Lord now, man. That's great. It's fulfilling for me because in growing up in music and being around the things I was around within music, seeing certain things coming to pass, I was like, man, I can't do it. I've always had this great conviction about music and what I put out there and what I say.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where I said I just can't. It makes me sad to even hear some of the stuff I was saying before, and now when I hear my music, it's like my kids can listen to it. You know what I'm saying? Their kids can listen to it. Generations can listen to it and be like, "That was your grandfather, my grandfather." Like you thinking grandfather? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not thinking music. And I don't think we actually really see the impact like we were just talking about. I don't think we see the full impact of the music that we do put out and the things that we're doing. I don't think we truly feel it because we're in the driver's seat. You know what I'm saying? Like you probably, and a lot of people may get this twisted, but I know you're telling me about these people and these different things, but you probably don't feel the same way about it as me listening. You know what I'm saying? This is just something you're in the driver's seat. This is just something you went through and, it was a part of your life and you've learned things from it. But even to some of the listeners and stuff, it may seem like, but to you, it's just like, hey, yeah, if I was in a room and I seen and Queen Latifah was in the room and I said, hey, she would be like, oh, Tim, how you been? You know what I'm saying? And I think it's we don't understand sometimes the impact. I know these artists today don't really understand the impact that they have on people.
Yeah, and a lot of people forget how you were impacted as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
You think about it, what got us into any situation, be it music, being a doctor, or this, that, and the other, it all comes from influence and impact.
Yeah.
So if you can understand that impact that made you go that way, either positive or negative, you got to understand that it's going to affect somebody else too, the next generation. And it really does affect them. It's the reason why we got a lot of rappers who think that they have to be drug dealers before they make a record just to put it in their verses.
Mm.
It's like they take a class to do this. You know what I mean? Like chapter one, get in the streets. Chapter two, cook up some coke. Chapter three, make some crack. Oh, wait a minute, crack doesn't exist anymore. All right, make a new drug. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like everybody's trying to do that, and I don't know. It's gonna even itself out soon. It's gonna even itself out.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's tough stuff right there, man. But that is how things roll out, man. And we have to be mindful about this,
Yeah,
about this culture, about where we're leading our kids to, about everything, because it's like we can desensitize them.
that's true.
We can desensitize them, and then, and kind of feel like that about hip hop.
Yeah,
That you know, because you get a lot of rappers upset about what is happening in the hip hop community, but all they're doing is everything that you rapped about for the past 20 years.
yes, and that's sort of like a hypocritical kind of stance, and it's hard to admit it because we love the culture. It's
Yeah.
hard to admit that, and I understand why a lot hasn't came up because they don't want to look like hypocrite. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So, but and it's true, and I understand the way they did it. They were trying to get out of this situation, but it was just like watching the movie Scarface. We didn't watch for the fact that he got killed at the end. Nobody cares.
Yeah.
We just love what he did during that process before that happened. Nobody ever talks about that he gets killed.
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah. And you almost don't even want to watch that part of the movie.
No, because you don't want it to be over. You don't want that high to be over.
Man, I never even thought about that. But as you're saying that, I'm like, man, I don't want to see the end of Scarface, the end of Blow, like
Mm-hmm.
from the beginning to the middle.
Yes.
And after that, it's like rewind.
Right.
And you're right. That's how we tend to look at life, man. Is you
Yep.
Man, y'all getting that y'all getting them free jewels right here on the Light Club. Facebook user says, "Yo, what's up? I don't you ain't got your name up there, player. You put your name up there." Oh, they said that a while ago. Man, I've been so deep into this conversation. That was at like 11:15. I've been so deep in this conversation. I'm not even looking at the comments no more. I'm just talking to you.
Sorry.
I'm enjoying myself in this, man.
Yeah, same here, bro.
This is a treat for me right here.
But it's a great thing because I know for a fact that I could be more famous than I that people expect me to be, this, that, and the other. I know I can, but at what cost? You know what I'm saying? I didn't take certain routes because it didn't speak good to my spirit. You know what I mean? I'd rather be able to be free. I'm always about peace. Yes, you can't hide away from negative stuff. You're gonna have to go through it. But if you have a choice to not go that way, I don't like to do things that if it's going to hurt somebody else just because I get a personal gain from it.
Yeah,
I'd rather be broke than to do that.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that needs to be the perspective for many, for sure, because we see, and sometimes the general public kind of knows, right? They're like, man, you're doing that for the cash.
Yes.
So, and it's you can lose respect in your industry, by doing things like that. But then you also lose a piece of yourself.
Yeah.
like you said, at what cost?
Yeah.
You know, I think about just doing business and being in business, and I'm like, I know I know how to get to the bread. You know, I know how to get there, but at what cost? Like, I'm not going to see my kids. I'm not going to I've missed enough of that, and I've been blessed to miss it early and
Right.
catch it early.
Right.
You know, because or else you're just working all the time and you don't have, you know, it's
And it's funny you say that because that was my thing with my daughters. My daughters, my oldest was born in '95, my youngest '97. And yes, I was gone a lot, but when I was in town, phones was off. I just nothing but them. There was nothing to be home for 6 months at a time, but then I would be gone for 6 months at a time. And I felt this guilt. I always felt this guilt that I wasn't in their lives enough. I never forget one time I didn't think my daughters want to show up for my birthday thing. And my ex-girlfriend at the time, she set it up behind my back and to have them show up. I started crying in the middle of Olive Garden when they showed up. And they told me, they asked me, it's like, Daddy, why are you so emotional? This, I said, well, I feel like I haven't been that dad to you. It's like, what? You were always there for us. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just really don't realize because you're also thinking about this other thing I need to take care of. But I felt like I wasn't there. If I see other fathers the way that they were with their family, they were always there every single day. I wasn't that father, and it wasn't because I didn't want to be in their life. I was doing business, sending money home, then coming home to spend time with my family. But I felt guilty for years.
wow. And I was gonna ask you that. How did you come to balance that? How did you come to balance that?
It was tough. Luckily, like I said, I was home a lot. You know, so I think the most they could come see me, even though they were really young. They were really little to not even remember it. My daughters don't even remember meeting boys to men. They were so young. You know, but it was like LA was the longest place that I was away from them to where I couldn't see them because it was so far.
Right.
And I lived there for a year.
Right. Wow.
So,
wow.
But
So
my daughters, they tell me, it's like, Daddy, you got it all wrong.
But the kids are, you know, they're loving, they're forgiving, and sometimes we see things that we always wanted to do, but at the end of the day, we still have to feed everybody as being the man of the house.
Right. Right. And I was getting paid for something that I love to do. That never happens. That never happens.
No. That it's very rare.
Getting paid good. It's very rare. Yeah, I was getting paid good, and it allowed me to be able to see my kids whenever I wanted to. You know, but I don't know. I just felt that guilt, and I try to manage as much as possible.
Yeah. Oh, that's tough. That's tough. That's tough. I think everybody kind of deals with that in one form. Shout out to Blake. He says thanks for the $5 the other day. That was our winner. So shout out to Blake. We see you over there, Blake.
Right.
We got Tim Byrd over here. Check out Tim Byrd's music. He's also on YouTube. Just hit Tim Byrd up. We're talking real life stuff right now. Oh, she said there's mad echoes.
Yeah, we're building.
That's probably me. Let me see if I can get these headphones working now. I've been waiting on them all night. Check. Check mic 2. Check mic 1, 2. All right, can you guys hear me okay now? Am I still echoing? Can you guys hear me okay now?
I can hear you. There's a delay. Oh, mute my yeah, mute your guest and try to check. Hold on. Yeah, mute me and then try it again.
Have you heard echo?
No, what it is that your mouth is coming later than your voice.
Check mic
Just like a delay in the between your voice and your mouth.
Okay. All right. So I think I'm clicking now.
Okay. All right. So I think I'm clicking now.
Okay, Tim, you still there?
Okay, Tim, you still there?
Yeah, I'm here, but your mouth's not moving.
Oh, okay. It may be. Do you have headphones?
Maybe, do you have headphones?
Yes, I do, but I don't have them on. I got it through my speakers.
Oh, I think that might be what the echo is. I think when I'm
Oh, I
talking,
think
I'm
that
repeating through your.
I think when I'm talking, I'm repeating through your.
Well, I don't hear an echo. Your lips are moving, but the words don't come out till later.
I mean, we've been streaming for a minute, and I haven't heard an echo.
Yeah, it was working. It was working the whole time.
Yeah, so I don't know what happened. I hear the host fine. The problem. Okay, it stopped. Somebody said it stopped. Who is this? Blake? Oh, Blake.
Now, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good. He said there's mad echo. Mute your guest and try to check. I hear the host fine. The problem is the stream audio sounds like it's coming through the guest speaker. Guest headphone. That's okay. Guest needed mic. Okay. All right. So I think we're good. It's like minimal. I still hear something, but it's very minimal. But while I'm on, I guess I'll show.
I'm on headphones right now. I'm on headphones right now. Yeah, my speakers are turned off. As soon as you said it, I turned it off.
Oh, okay. I hear it faintly in these headphones for some reason.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you perfect. But then I hear myself. I think it may be my stream. I'm not sure, but it's not that bad anymore. Anyway, it's like minimal. But we're gonna show y'all this product real quick. This is the Lamical phone stand right here. All right, and you can put your it's a portable cell phone holder, easy to use, easy to fold. Check it out. It goes that flat. Okay, so you can travel with it. You can do whatever you want with it. This is good for your iPhones, Androids, anything you want to put on here. I use it for my stream, and I think it's good to go. And I use a few of them. They have different colors. They got the yellow joint, the blue joint. They got one in gray. Of course, I got the black on black. So check this out. It's only right now $29.99. It's not on deal or anything like that, but they do have others that are on deal. And yeah, if you go to their webpage, you can find me and Tim Byrd streaming on their page right now. They just put us up. So we are on their page. Click the carousel and you'll see us again. All right. So that's it. Y'all check that out. All right. So we're talking family, right? Family and music. We're talking family and music. I think all right, I should sound a little better now. Family and music, that balance, man. You're home 6 months, but you're gone 6 months. But I think that is, I mean, did you feel like that was something that you needed to do? Or do you feel like if you could have, I don't want to say if you could do it again, would you do it different? Because that's kind of like we are where we are. But would you have taken another route or done anything different?
I don't think that there was another route to do it because I didn't hold any cards.
Mm.
You feel what I'm saying? I wasn't the man. I didn't make the decisions. There were times to where they would call me at 3 o'clock in the morning. You have to be at the airport by 6. And yeah, I could have turned it down, and be like, hey, I'm spending time with my family, blah blah. But that's a missed opportunity if I wanted to do it, you know.
Right.
So I really don't regret. I just felt guilty.
Right.
And I
Right.
wish that they could be there with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But they kind of had a sense of understanding what was going on. Like that is at work.
Yeah, from what I understand, when they explained to me when they got older, they just figured that that was my job.
Yeah. Yeah. So it wasn't like anything abnormal. But I mean, they're meeting boys to
Yeah, no, I
men.
never had one of my. Yeah, but they were little. They were like 2, 3, and stuff. Like they don't remember that stuff now.
Yeah. Yeah.
They know who Boys and Men is, and then be like, you met them. Yeah, mommy said so. Yeah, and
So
it didn't help that my ex-wife was in love with Wanye, and she got a chance to meet it, because who in the world gets a chance to meet someone you're in love with? You know what I mean? And then
yeah.
after that, she tried to get me to look like Wanye. Like, that ain't happening.
Like, nah, buddy. Oh man. So
And
so now looking when you look back at all this stuff, what is something you would say to yourself if you could go back and whisper something in your own ear? What is something you would go back and say?
um, be more confident. That's the only thing I could say. Be more confident.
Mm, mm. Kind
That's
of
the only thing,
know.
because I lacked confidence.
Okay. What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, I never believed in myself. Even though I got in these situations, I tried to prove myself so much, and maybe I would just tell just calm down, just be confident in what you believe in. But I really suffer from a lot of low self-esteem.
Mm, mm. Even in all those situations, I
Maybe I would say to myself, it's okay.
yeah.
Was that?
Even in being signed to Boys to Men, I mean, you're running around with Queen Latifah. You're you're doing all these things. You're saying that even in the midst of that,
Yeah,
wow,
yeah.
wow.
That, because that's external. Those things are external. I
Mm,
was dealing with internal. You can't get past internal. You can be around the president of the United States or the Queen of England. If you're not right within, you're still not going to enjoy it, because you're not enjoying yourself.
come on now, y'all, y'all getting this game for free. Y'all getting this game for free. This is tough stuff. This is tough stuff, man. And a lot of people won't admit this stuff. They won't say it so other people
Yeah,
can
I was
hear
afraid to admit it.
it. Mm,
I was afraid to admit it for years, because I was afraid that people would use it against me. But I'm smart enough to understand you can try to use it against me all you want. I'm still going to be good.
right, right. Wow. Mm. I was just going through your listing, and you had music on Keeping Up with the Kardashians.
Hmm. Background music. Yep.
Man, thi- I mean, just this lineup is crazy. Living Will,
Yep. Yeah, that was an
bruh,
independent film. with the guys, the guy, huh?
No, I was just saying, bruh. Like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Now I want to score. I want to score a whole film, a whole movie. I want to do a big movie.
Mm,
That's what I want to do.
mm. So now you could take an orchestra and just pinpoint, tell them what they need to do. That's tough stuff right
Yes.
there. That's tough
Yes.
stuff.
Yep. And that's hard. That's really hard. I can recreate it on my own, but no, I've been studying so many composers, the greatest composers, the big Batman composers, and this, that, and the other. I've been studying them,
Yeah, yeah.
and I know I could do it. I just need that opportunity.
Mm, man, man. If y'all are watching Amazon Prime, you got a composer right here. Amazon Amazon Prime, come pick him up. Come pick him up. You got a free agent right
Yeah,
here, ready to get
yeah,
busy. Ready to get busy.
yeah. Yep.
Now, do you have anything up and coming that you're working on? Anything new that you getting ready to release or that you're looking to do?
Yes. I just got finished working with Shatish, R&B singer, great singer with Knots and Daryl. And I'm working with this other artist, which I stopped working with artists a long time ago, but they called me back in. But this other artist named Brit, what's her name? What's her name? What's her name? Bonnie Monroe. That's
Okay.
her name. Working with her, and yeah, and so far everything's in the talks. I'm coming up. I'm coming up with another Love and Lo-Fi album. Just a bunch of instrumentals that's going to be definitely lo-fi all the way.
Okay.
Nice and relaxing all the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, much better than the one I released. Yeah.
Now bring me
So
back.
yeah, pretty much those, and just can we keep submitting.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Now bring me back to Chartice. Is she in
Mhm.
Virginia? She from Virginia? This is a Virginia artist?
Yeah, she's from Portsmouth.
Okay. And she's signed to Knots. Is that right? Is that what you were saying?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. From
Okay.
what I understand, yes. That, and she sang some stuff behind the game and all that stuff. Sang some hooks for the game and other people, this, that, and the other. Scarface and all that.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. So what type of music are you working on with her? Or with anybody right now? Right now, what do you want to work with? And if there are artists that are looking for production, can they reach out to you? Are you working with independent artists right now?
It's sort of. I'm the only reason why I'm working with these two artists is on the strength of Daryl. It's sort of like Carlito's way. You know, every time you try to get out, they pull you right back in. Because I was done with working with artists.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No disrespect to artists. I was just done with working with artists because they don't. Some artists don't want to take stock in their own career. You end up doing their career more than them. So I was just done with it. So
Yeah.
I really can't really speak on that. Whatever happens, happens. If somebody's dope and I work with them, then that's how it is.
No, yeah, I can definitely understand that. I can definitely understand that, brother. You got to kind of pace yourself out here and do what is going to be productive. That stuff is important.
Yep.
Um, but advice for artists. What type of advice do you have for artists, for new artists just coming out, new producers just coming out, looking to uh, you know do some production or release music? What kind of advice do you have?
Stay confident because that helped me. Stay creative Always learn new things. Everything that's around you can be creative. Even just watching a tree just sitting there can be creative. Just be aware of your surroundings and just be true to yourself. Don't try to impress everybody because you think that that's how you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? If you're quiet,
Mm.
be a quiet person. But there are times that you need to speak up, you speak up then. Because a lot of people, one thing I got, and this has been said before, the weakest person is the loudest person in the room. So if you're not a normal loud person or an aggressive person, but you try to act like your people know it, they'll know if you're real or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just be yourself.
Mm. Yeah, I think that's an
Study.
important one right there.
Study the greats.
Yeah, because they'll sniff you out. They'll sniff you out for sure. All right, I want to ask you about this product because I have it in the carousel, but this is and this is the baby brother. This is the little brother to the, I think, right? So what I'm talking about is this is the micro, right? And then the other one is it still says MK3. Let me see. I'll tell you. Native Machine MK. Okay, so there's a regular MK3 and then there's a micro, right?
Yes.
Have you worked with the regular MK3 at all?
Not the regular MK3. I had the very first machine. I had that before I started teaching the class. I never touched the micro until I started teaching the class. I had to buy one
for
for the
real.
class. Yeah.
So
I never even touched it. Yeah.
That's crazy. So how was the
Yeah. I had to buy one.
How was the machine when you first used it? Do you think they stepped it up with the MK3? Like when you went to the micro?
I never see the only. Well, I never had the one previous to that, the regular MK3, so I never touched it. I only had the MK1, which is the very first one with the black and white screen. That was the only one that I had. I never touched any of the color ones because I wanted to get that, but then I noticed that they were using the MK3 micro. So I was like, you know what? I might as well get that, learn it, and teach them on that.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's dope. I can't believe you ain't never used it before. This is, but it's a great machine. It's a good machine. I think it.
It is, and it's great for traveling.
Yeah, yeah. Do you find a lot of producers will do work on the road, like on vacation? Have you ever been on vacation, been like, yo, I'm gonna just bring this drum set with me?
Nah, it's crazy because during the times when I needed to, I had traveled a lot, didn't have this. They only had bigger equipment. But now that I have all the smaller equipment, I haven't even been on vacation yet. But if I go on vacation, I'm going to actually just not think about music because I'm terrible at stopping to smell the roses, and I need to learn that more often.
Right.
Don't stop to smell the roses.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Get you some leisure. You need some. Yeah, get some leisure in. Hey, not for nothing, but I just seen, man, they got tickets from Newport News to Florida right now. $29.
Oh, what round trip?
Well, I think it's each way 29. I said, man, I'm bringing everybody. Let's go.
That's not bad.
That's not bad
That's
at
not
all.
bad.
That's not bad at all.
No.
We may be doing the Christmas or Thanksgiving in Florida.
That's dope.
Yeah,
I need to get away. I need to.
It's good for you. My family just took a trip here, and they hadn't ever been on a vacation. They've
Wow.
had never been on vacation before. I mean, locally, yes. You know, they're from Massachusetts, so locally, yes, but never been to Virginia, never, nothing, man. And they had the time of their life. Aquarium, Virginia
Yeah.
Beach. Brought them everywhere, man. I was trying to sell them on moving down. Every time somebody
Yeah.
comes down here from somewhere else, I'm trying to sell them on getting down here.
That's dope.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So I got these Govee lights behind me. This is
I just gotta figure out where to go.
oh yeah. These Govee lights right here. Oh, sorry. I always get confused. Right here, this is like an 8-pack of Govee lights. You stick them on the wall, and you can coordinate these with your music. So when you're making your beats, you can coordinate them to every time it hears something, it will go to the beat, whatever you're making. Like when I'm just chilling in the room sometimes, or watching the game, or whatever, I'll just throw them on, and they'll start bouncing to how I'm talking or whatever TV is on. Man, they really stepped it up with these things, man. These are the Govee lights. So if you ever get into the market,
Oh, he likes that's dope.
yeah, man. Different brightness. They got Bluetooth, so I can set them. I can set them to do whatever I want them to do because it's got a Bluetooth access.
Nice.
So it's not. I like them, man. I like them. We got them a while ago, and ever since, I said, baby, leave them up there. I like them. They make the room feel, you get that extra energy, or you can dim them and make the room feel dramatic, whatever you want to do.
Nice.
All right.
How
So
much are they?
these are, all right. So they are $49.69. 40
Okay.
they're $49.69, and they give you a $10. These are 40% off now, and they give you a $10 coupon. And they just posted us on their main page. All right now. All right, Govee. Shout out to Govee. Shout out to Govee.
Oh, I
Like
see him.
they got us up there.
I see him. I see him right here.
Yeah, they're fire, man.
Oh, I see him.
They got different models too, man.
That's dope.
Yeah, if they send me some, I'm gonna send some over to you. Govee, send us some lights, man.
Let me know. Yeah.
They're like, Abe always on his streams begging. Hey, sometimes they be coming through. They be coming through, boy. Don't trip. They be coming through. Shoot. I ain't mad at them. Yeah, man. So there was something else. Before we close out, there was something else I wanted to touch on that I didn't touch on. Hold on one second. Let me go to this carousel because we did talk about Love and Massage. But you said you had a part
Right.
2 coming out. You said you had a part 2 coming out, but not a Love and Massage though. It was the lo-fi.
Nah, Love and Lo-Fi. Yeah.
Okay.
That one's gonna be smoother.
Y'all keep a
It's
lookout.
borderline. It's gonna be borderline smooth, boom bap in a sense, but a smoother feel. You know what I mean? Nice soft tones.
Man, please come on here. Please come on here when you drop it so we could play. We're gonna play the whole album. We'll play the whole album.
That's what it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's what it is.
Man, thank you for coming on, Tim. I just I want to run this back one more time, if you don't mind. Who would have known? Because this is fire, man. This is a fire record, and we're constantly
Thanks,
getting.
man.
You got to understand, like on Amazon, we're getting thousands of people coming through, but it's switching like every minute. It's like you're getting another 1,000 people coming through here. So I just want to make sure everybody gets a chance to hear this record.
Thank you. That's dope, bro.
All right, so we're gonna play this. Who would have known? This is Tim Byrd Music presents Who Would Have Known featuring L. Harris.
Kind of like love first sight. There you go. I ain't believe it till it happened. Let's get it. It started out with a crush when I thought of us, fantasies filled with a lust. But who would have known something special in store to cause my heart for yours? We were special for sure. You laugh, you smile, your hair, your eyes, the swear, you walk, your hip, your thighs. I saw every part of you, a work of art, priceless. I love the flaws in you. You my Mona Lisa, picture perfect. I fell in love in the flash, but we took it slow, though we was moving too fast. And others' eyes.
What's up, Kimberly Millionaire in the chat? We see you, girl.
Wife, my friend, my light in the dark, the suns and storms, weather, whatever. Always knew you would be my forever.
Who would've known we would be together? I know. Who would've known it would last forever? Who would've known you would have my baby? Who would've known?
Kimberly says, hey, gentlemen.
Together, who would've known it would last forever? Who would've known you would have my baby? Who would've known it'd be us?
Started out as a flame, played the game I won. You ended up with a ring. Dad, husband, confidant, became a couple of things. A better man, got me feeling blessed for a change. Mother, wife, many hats that you wear. Put in so many places, but you always were there. Came with baggage that's lightweight, let me carry that for you. Came with my own dirty laundry, you was packing it for me. We the best of the storms, let it dance in the rain. Stuck by me through the hurt, tell me smile through the pain. You my angel on earth, everybody you exceeded. Never knew what I wanted, you everything that I needed. Forever plus eternity, that's a slogan for us. You give me everything, love, loyalty, trust. My beautiful black queen who won't carry my name. My highest honor for love. Let me know I'm a king, you're perfect for me.
Who would've known we would be together? I know. Who would've known it would last forever? Who would've known you would have my baby? Who would've known it'd be us? Who would've known we would be together? Who would've known it would last forever? Who would've known you would have my baby? Who would've known it'd be us?
Who would've known? I love you, Tiffany Harris, the Mrs. Harris, my wife, my friend, my everything, forever plus eternity. Who would've known it'd be us?
Now you know that brother love his wife. That is Tim Byrd Music presents No featuring Al Harris.
That's what's up.
Kimberly, thank you for stopping by. She said just finished a stream, so I'm popping by. Oh man, I didn't know you was live tonight. I love her stream so much. I'll pause my stream and go over there and check her out, see what she's doing.
That's up. I have to check her out.
Kimberly, yeah, I'll send you a link. She's great, man. Great friend. She lives here in Newport News.
Oh, that's what's up.
She the one who got me streaming. She got me streaming. She told me about it, and
Nice.
I was like, man, okay. She said you need to get it together and just roll. And she been training and coaching ever since. And now we're up to doing a podcast with Tim Byrd in the house, y'all. Come on now. Come on, somebody. Tim Byrd in the heezy. Yeah, give it up for him. Give it up for him.
Yo, this is great.
Kimberly said karaoke machine was on deal. You know I was acting. Wait, hold on. I don't know. She said it was a karaoke machine on deal night, so you know I was acting up. LOL. And no, you did not just tell the world where I live. Oh, my bad. I ain't giving you an address though. I ain't giving you an address. Oh man.
I'm not gonna stalk you.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So yeah, she does a great stream. Her and Ella Reese. Ella Reese can sing now. They all can sing. I think everybody in their family can sing. I think they all can just sing.
Ella Reese, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, she can sing now. These jokers is on a different level of singing.
Yeah.
You meet a family like everybody just can sing or everybody play ball. You know what I'm saying? They got one of them families, but then they act like they can't sing. Some of them because they don't feel like singing in front of everybody all the time. Yeah, that's who they are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I put it out there.
Yep.
I put it out there. We got Tim Byrd in the house. Tim Byrd signed to Motown. Come on now. This is what you're getting at the Light Club. Motown worked with Aaliyah, right? We talked about all these different things. First manager, was it Bell Biv DeVoe. Michael Bivins.
No, it was in the industry. It was Michael Bivins in the industry. Yeah,
in the industry, Michael Bivins. He's also signed to Queen Latifah for a minute. I'm just making sure I'm I'm getting my stuff right, making sure I got it right. Worked with Timbaland, Aaliyah, Outsiders for Life. That was his group. Knots, Ski Beats. That was a treat right there. Was in there with Jay-Z on The Reasonable Doubt. It's crazy, right? Growing up hip hop.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I thought, one of my friends, he sent me a song that my group and Ski did back in 1989.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm not sending it though because it sounds that bad. But we were figuring it out though. I ain't sending it to them. I sent it to Ski. He was like, "Yo, what were we doing?"
I got a few of those joints.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got Tim Byrd in the building, man. I appreciate you taking time to come out here and really, really get this thing done, man. So thank you again, and y'all make sure y'all check him out with his lo-fi. We got the lo-fi. It's in the carousel. And I'm echoing again, but we're about at our end. We're at our end, so we're good. We're good.
Yeah, thank you, Avery. Yeah, Avery, thank you very much for even showcasing the song. Thank you for having me. Thank you for even. I just appreciate you. You guys are doing some great things, man.
Yeah, thank you, man, for coming on and sharing some of your experiences. Just even talking about. Like stuff with Aaliyah and Timbaland and Dave Hollister. Like it was a very transparent interview, I would say. A very transparent interview, and I enjoyed it. And I feel like this was a great kickoff to the podcast and the Amazon Live. We got to show some products and MK3s, and we had Chris up here getting some tips and all that stuff, man. We had a ball tonight, and thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah.
Anything you would like to talk about or close out with before we wrap this thing out?
No, we pretty much covered everything. Unless we want to go on and talk about some negative stuff that I saw in the industry.
Oh.
Yeah, I ain't going there. I'm just messing with
you're gonna be on TMZ.
Yeah, I don't do that.
You're gonna be on TMZ beefing with somebody.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want no smoke. Man, I don't want no smoke.
Well, hey man, thank you. We got to do it again. I'm hoping you'll come on again.
Definitely.
Because I would like to feature, a couple more songs. I would like to give them more, because we touched on some stuff, but I would like to give them more. Maybe go through some of the lo-fi stuff, and do some of that. Maybe we could do something here in the next few weeks or something. Put you on the spot and try to get you back. Start asking you in front of everybody.
No, you're good. You're good.
All right, good.
No,
good,
you're
good.
You're good. You're good.
Word. Thank you. All right, thank you,
bro.
man,
Thank
for
you very
coming
much,
on.
man.
Thank you for coming on. This is the Light Club, and we are signing off. TimByrdMusic.com. You can check all his stuff there. Everything that he's done, you can see it up there. You can get his albums up there. You can contact and inbox him if you're trying to get your production on. If you need some advising, he does advising. I don't think we touched on. Can we touch on that real quick? The music advisor stuff.
Well, I haven't started the. Usually, the way it's set up right now, I usually just answer people's questions. I haven't set up. I'm having to where it's streamlined to where people can hit me up with certain questions, and I just go through it with them. But right now, if a friend calls me up and they'll be like, "Hey, how do I do this, that, and that?" I'll give them the information. But I'm about to come up with a program to where I can answer all the questions that people need, even with getting into music licensing. All that's in the works right now.
Oh, that's dope. That is amazing. So y'all stay tuned. We're gonna have them back on to talk about that. So whoever wants to learn about music licensing and see how you can get your stuff on Growing Up Hip Hop Atlanta, Catfish, Vice on Showtime, Ice Cold Killers. Okay, you want to be on the ID channel, you want to be on Lion Gates E. Do you want to be on the Kim Kardashian show? This is the guy right here. He is featured on the Kardashians, y'all. So that just goes to show you he know what he talking about. All right. He know what he talking about. He not down at Ray J's diner.
Tell Kimberly I said hey, because I see she said hey to.
Oh, Kimberly. Tim says, hey, I think she heard you. Hey, Tim, that Ella Reese that can sing, not me, LOL. She said, that's Ella Reese that can sing. See, this is what I'm talking about, Tim. That's Ella Reese that can sing, not me, LOL. I just have the Deal or Dud intro, LOL. Hey, Tim.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim said, oh man, this is good. This has been real good, man. Thank you, Tim, for coming on, man. And we're gonna get you back on here sooner than later, man, just so we can vibe out.
Definitely.
And thank you for coming through. All right, y'all.
Definitely.
Thank y'all for coming through, stopping through. This has been the Light Club. Peace.
Peace.